From the beautiful Front Wave Arena in Oceanside, California, the MASL Ron Newman Cup semifinals come to a close tonight. It's decision night as the San Diego Sockers look to punch their ticket to the finals. They take on the St. Louis Ambush in match 2 of the semis. And a very pleasant good evening, everybody. Alongside Tony Sanchez, Craig Elston on hand with you. There were 8 teams in the MASL when this season started. We're down to 3 active. By the time we sign off from this broadcast, it will be time for the finals and the final 2. And for the San Diego Sockers, at home, coming off a 6-5 victory in St. Louis on Friday, they know one more win and they can get the job done.
Well, the Sockers need to go ahead and win 1 match. However, the Ambush need to get 2 games tonight. The San Diego Sockers, if they are able to win, will face the Wave, Milwaukee, for the chance to earn the 17th championship in franchise history. The Ambush, on the other hand, have never won a Ron Newman Cup or played in a finals. The Ambush are going to need to win not 1, but 2 games tonight. San Diego has had some slow starts here at home, and they're going to go ahead and need to be ready out the gate in order to make sure that they are able to be at their best.
Yes, the Ambush are thinking about a 15-minute knockout game to decide the series. That's what would happen if they win this upcoming match 2. Let's focus on a couple of the key players who have already made an impact on this series. And for the San Diego Sockers, Tony, Nick Pereira, a guy got a little bit slow at the end of the season as Tavoy Morgan picked up his scoring. But Nick came right in to start this playoff strong.
Absolutely. A 2-time MASL MVP is looking for his first Ron Newman Cup, his 3rd championship overall. He was the point man over on Friday, and the last time these 2 teams met, he got 2 goals and an assist. The team is going to be looking for him and to be in important positions on the final third and on set pieces.
Meanwhile, for the St. Louis Ambush, a player who has tormented the Sockers so far this season, regular season and playoffs, is the big defender. Christian Briggs had a hat trick on the back post on Friday.
In the 2 times that they've faced each other this season, Briggs has scored 4 in 2 matches. He's a big defender who is dangerous on both sides of the ball, and the Sockers are going to need to cover that back post in order to make sure to neutralize his offensive prowess.
The only time St. Louis has come here, the game went to sudden death overtime. They're hoping to be pushing things to the limit again tonight. When we come back, Nick Ferrara will have a down-on-the-field hit. We'll bring you the starting lineups and the opening kickoff. Ron Newman Cup semi-final action. Match 2, the Sockers and the Ambush, next on the CBS Sports Golasso Network.
Is it normal to sweat this much? This is awful. This is a mean sweat. Quit looking at me, Susan. When was the last time I ate something planted? It's not that I don't like vegetables. Doctor, help with this. I can't pay for a nutritionist. Why is this always such a whole big thing?
With nutrition counseling included, staying on top of your health doesn't have to be a whole big thing. Kaiser Permanente, healthcare that just works.
Please, 6 home, runway 26, break, clear.
Parents, if we're on screens too much, what about you?
So let's ditch them and go outside on safari
To hang with the coolest,
kookiest, tallest animals ever.
whoa,
We can hop with them,
Get real close to them.
and every visit helps the animals. But that screen you're on can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd
at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park.
From the Pacific to the desert, our members work hard, dream big, and always fight for what's important. For over 70 years, Front Wave Credit Union has been serving those who serve and helping our members take their financial plans to the next level. Because our value and values run deep, and we'll always fight for you with 100% commitment and no excuses. Open an account with Front Wave Credit Union today, and you could get a $350 bonus when you switch. Front Wave Credit Union. Dream big. We got you.
Welcome back inside, live from Front Wave Arena, match 2 of the Ron Newman Cup semifinal between the St. Louis Ambush and San Diego Sockers. With Tony Sanchez, I'm Craig Elston. Let's go down to the floor and welcome in the third member of our broadcast team, Nick Ferrara.
The Sockers have been the most dominant team in the MASL all season on the road. It's been here at home at Front Wave Arena where the struggles have come into play. In an effort to mimic that away environment, instead of going home, the team went to a North County hotel. They woke up into their morning routines as if this was a road game. Coach Phil Salvaggio and his staff that hope the lack of distractions will create that away environment and to let them avoid an ambush here in San Diego tonight. Craig, Tony, back to you.
Thank you so much, Nick. We'll see if a good night's rest in a very nice hotel bed beats sleeping in your own bed tonight. The Ambush had no choice. They had to sleep in a nice hotel. Both these clubs are ready to roll for match 2. The St. Louis Ambush are all in white, trimmed in green. Take a look at these two clubs. San Diego winning the MASL Supporters Shield with 44 points. St. Louis just 2 points behind, but that was the difference between first and fourth place. St. Louis beat the Strikers in the first round, while the Sockers had a first round bye, and San Diego prevailed 6-5 in match 1 Friday at the Family Arena. So now we're ready to roll. Going right to left across your screen, the Ambush. All in blue, going left to right, the Sockers. It's match 2. If San Diego wins, they move on to take on the Milwaukee Wave in the Ron Newman Cup Finals beginning Wednesday in Milwaukee. If St. Louis wins, we'll have a 15-minute break after the end of this match, and we'll proceed to a 15-minute knockout game that is game 3 of the best of 3 series. The Sockers certainly want to avoid that. St. Louis has no choice. They have to get there. Our 2 on-field officials today, Rich Grady and Fernando Pena, with Kia Depina, the assistant referee, and Karen DeLeon, our 4th official. Paulo Nascimento, the likely MASL goalkeeper of the year, starting in net. The Brazilian 40-year-old was not selected on match 1. Took a bit of a knock at the end of their knockout game victory over Kansas City. Yeah, on Friday it was Eduardo Pollo Cortez starting with Jose Ogaz backing him up. Now it's Paulo and Pollo. And it's Nick Pereira off the wall. Rebound hit off the crossbar by Leo. Leo hits crossbar in the first 35 seconds. And that could have been 1-0. Instead, it can go the other way. Down low, and it's Boris Pardo making a huge save. Denying Toriabo, it's put to the back post. And it squirts through to the left corner. And now another save. Ball's up in the air, brought down and scored. And just like that, St. Louis takes an early 1-0 lead. It's the rookie Mario Falsone. And it's a play that involved multiple chances, Tony, in front of the San Diego net.
Absolutely, and it's exactly what you're going to see from both of these teams. You're going to have a set-piece opportunity that nearly goes in, and then an immediate counterattack opportunity. A little chaos inside of the box for the San Diego Sockers, and Falsone is able to capitalize on that. Seemed like a 20-car pileup in the box in front of Boris Pardo. But that's the danger that you're going to find with this St. Louis Ambush team. A very quick squad that knows how to capitalize on those chances, and that's going to be the danger for the Sockers. They need to make sure that they are tight in defending those slippery occasions, those slippery ball, essentially.
Well, we had so much action so early, we couldn't even really, as here's Morgan trying to create more action. James Togba steps in between to deny. The Ambush are going to always be looking to run. Their style, if you're new to this and just checking the game out on CBS Sports Golazo Network, they are the young, hungry, fast, counter-attacking team. They won't have the ball on their foot all that often. They won't be carrying possession all that much tonight. If they are, San Diego is not doing anything that they want. San Diego wants to control, possess, move the ball. They've got the veterans, they've got the experience, but they can't win foot races down the floor, not too often. So that's an easy handball called right there. Ambush, I'm going to ask all you great St. Louis fans watching to bear with me just the very slightest, in that the pink numbers on the back of a green skyline feature with no numbers on the shorts visible makes player ID in the very early moments a little bit gassier than it would normally be. Second minute here, and the Sockers find themselves down 1-0. Here's 39-year-old Nick Pereira trying to win his first MASL playoff series. Stefan Mijatovic shoots, and that shot blocked out of play. Now, if you watch the Open, you might have heard Tony say that he's looking for his third championship. That's exactly right. In his rookie season, 2010-11, in the PASL, the Professional Arena Soccer League, Nick Pereira and Chris Toth both won championships. The second of 6 modern championships for San Diego. The next year, Nick moved on to the MISL and the Milwaukee Wave, where under head coach Keith Tozer, he won a championship. Pereira now on the right corner dot to Charlie, who kicks it into the legs of official Fernando Pena. Shouldered down by Leo and Drew. Kicked out Luis Morales for San Diego. Back to Pereira, the fulcrum of the offense. Waits for a double team to arrive. It does. Spins it behind him. Morales trying to chop the ball out. And well done to avoid a foul in doing so. San Diego recovers in offensive midfield. Each team with a good chance in the first minute, but St. Louis got 3-4 looks at the ball in front of the net, and Falsone was able to bring down that ball that was kicked just up into the middle of the crease and put it in. Soccer's looking for an answer. Morales. Back to Leo. Morales, little fake to the left, shoots to the right, he scores! A wicked individual effort by number 80, Luis Morales, has tied this match 1-1 at the 3:05 mark.
And Morales is one of those players that has every single tool in his toolbox where he can go ahead and go towards the corner, use that body of his and muscle his way through, or he can just directly take a shot. And with that slight finesse, it's not the most powerful shot, but it's very well placed. He's able to go past Paulo Nascimento to tie up this game. Soccer's 1, St. Louis también 1.
Leo gets the assist on that equalizing goal. Morales' second of the playoff series and the playoffs overall. Ambush trying to get one right back. Torre Alba to the middle, kicked out by Pacheco. Ball still loose. De Andrade finds it, chests it, traps it, taken away. A steal by Williamson. Squared to the middle where Cardenas finds it, taken away by Torre Alba. Re-established by Andrade. Dalton De Andrade on the run with Pacheco, a hopping ball. He sends it into the right corner, still bouncing on Pacheco. He'll settle it in that right corner, and he's got defenders bracketing him, and now San Diego will come back and regroup.
And this is where San Diego is going to need to be smart about the way that they attack, because any sort of miss or rebound is going to be an opportunity for St. Louis to collect and go the other way with a counter-attack, something the Sockers have been very susceptible to. Also susceptible to San Diego Sockers. As soon as they score this season, they've been giving up goals as well. So they did well in order to defend that immediate counter very, very well.
Togba off the back of Pacheco trying to clear, and then Charlie will be called for a foul. So Boris Pardo, who leads this club in all-time, pretty much every goalkeeping category, the MASL's all-time winner at 147, 35-7. In the playoffs, Pardo's numbers even better, 22-9-4 in his career with a 3.65 goals against average. That's goalkeeper of the year territory throughout his career. He is a 2-time champion with the San Diego Sockers and a 3-time goalkeeper of the year. And Chris Toth started the opener. And an interesting call as Boris will defend his near post and ward that shot away. And that's defensive clearance on the captain, Cesar Cerda. But when you understand what Boris means to this team and how much he has been the leader of this defense for 10 straight years, him starting this playoff game makes perfect sense.
Absolutely, and the experience that he brings in these moments in order to keep the blood pressure at a low is going to be very important, as this team in St. Louis is going to bring it the entire match. You saw a veteran like Cesar Cerda feel the pressure of 2 players behind him and commit an error there as he's trying to clear it off the wall.
So it's a top of the arc restart, and it's a goal! As sneaking it through, the perfect pass from the ambush veteran Lucas Almeida. It goes to the back post where it is knocked home by Mershad Armadi. for a 2-1 St. Louis lead.
That's as clean of a set piece and a top of the arc restart as you'd want. This ball goes to the midriff. Mijatovic is the only way he can defend that is potentially putting his body / hand in there. So that's why you see him kind of move away, but a great finish and a great assist as well. Back-to-back bang bang here in the first quarter.
Amati, who was acquired at the trade deadline from Utica, picks up his second goal of the playoffs, and Lucas Almeida gets an excellent assist. However, I think the lion's share of the credit has to go to Amati. And here's a steal and an opportunity for more. Falsone is coming in. Mario Falsone's shot is blocked by Cerda, who had 5 blocked shots credited in the open. Taken away, Riley Uri just did a spin to continue to possess the ball there when San Diego thought they were out on the counter. The frisky ambush controlling these opening 5 minutes. And for a San Diego Sockers team, Tony, that says to themselves all the time, allow 4 or less, we will win. They've given up 2 in the first 5 minutes.
And yeah, that's the pedigree of this St. Louis ambush team, who this entire season has been doing incredibly well, surprising even. But it's no surprise to St. Louis fans who have seen this team grow and have the chemistry and be building something over the last couple of years into something very special, as you see here. Cesar.
Uri, play on, says Rich Grady and Fernando Pena, as Uri was trying to bait Cerda to pretend he was going to come off and then rush the wall, and Cerda got in between and took the ball. San Diego trying to make a couple of changes out there. Charlie Gonzalez, who led this team in the first half of the season. He was this club's MVP before taking an ankle injury that kept him out till the final game of the regular season. Charlie had the go-ahead goal in the fourth quarter, or in the third quarter, I should say. Here's a play developing. Pacheco, Leo tried to shovel it toward his fellow Brazilian Paulo. Keeps his foot on the ball and sends it out to Cardenas. 8:42, first quarter. Clock running and the ambush leading 2-1. Very high scoring quarter, not right at the Sockers tempo just yet. Leo and Morales. Morales just shoots on. Paulo makes a routine save.
And it's taking those opportunities, and the Sockers need to go ahead and have the tempo how they'd like it, control the ball, slow things down a bit, but this St. Louis ambush team is not going to allow that.
William Esquay tried to feed the runner up the middle. Trailman picks it up and sends it off to the dangerous Daniel Torrealba. Torrealba bumped well by Morales. Morales steals it away. Crosses to Leo. Ben Raymond is running up the middle. He says, don't worry, I'll get out of there. We can change. And Nick Pereira comes on instead. Ben's playing the role of defensive runner. He's the third forward, but he'll rarely appear in the offensive zone, and if so, only in a transition opportunity like one that could have developed right there. Next ball out of bounds, or dead ball whistle, will be the first media timeout of the semi match 2. Nilton to Pereira, who leaves it for Pacheco, who wall passes it over the head of Nilton. That was the intention, was a wall pass to a header. Sockers showing some more man marking and defensive pressure as the first quarter rolls on. Now they sit back in their half and allow the ambush to control with Christian Briggs, who has certainly made his presence felt with a hat trick Friday night at the Family Arena and a goal here at Front Wave Arena when they met on March 22nd. All 4 back post shots. Under 7 minutes now in the opening 15-minute quarter. Back to Randy Martinez. Robert Williamson. Don't need a number to find Williamson on the floor. Martinez with Falsone in the middle. O'Keefe kind of running up the top. And it's Almeida. Dangerous. Precise! Pardo got a piece of that. Could have gone in for 3-1. Pardo made a big save. Leo back into the officials' legs for the second time tonight. Now O'Keefe gets double teamed. Pacheco comes away with it. Bad spacing. Can he get the ball to Nilton? Good step in by Williamson. And then also well done by Nilton to get it all the way back. Falsone and Cerda unintentionally collide, jumping off the bench. Falsone wanted a foul. Mijatovic gives it away. Sells out for a slide tackle. And he's going to be rewarded with a whistle. and it appears to be a common foul. No card has come out against Mijatovic, who took the first blue card of the series in the second quarter of game 1.
Yeah, Mijatovic right there trying to start the offense with a through ball right through the middle. It's a missed pass, and he tries to correct himself, but a little bit of an overcorrection could potentially have led to a blue card, but fortunately for the Sockers, it did not.
Riley Uri pushes down the hard-fighting Sebastian Mendez for a common foul. Each player is allowed to commit 3 personal fouls in a half without any further penalty, or 5 in a match. But if you get 4 in a half, it's a blue card. And if you get 6 in the match overall, you will be ejected on a red card, which does not carry a next match penalty, but it's essentially the NBA's foul out. They just put a card on it for kicks. Here's Morgan. Tavoy Morgan had an explosive finish to the regular season with a 6-match goal scoring streak. Did not score a goal in match 1, but had 2 assists and a couple of shots right off the post as well. Here's a back post feed knocked out by Eske. Uri runs the middle of the floor from defensive midfield. Charlie tried to step in on a steal for San Diego and at least forced the ball backwards. Under 5 minutes, still waiting for that media timeout as the ball comes forward to James Togba. He crashes, holds, and sends it back to Torrealba. Had a pair of goals, a brace in the opener. Shoots a scatter ball wide, chested by Serta into the waiting hands of the 42-year-old veteran.
What St. Louis does very well is collect the ball from the midfield and do a dribbling motion and try to go at the Sockers defense with speed, and it's either laying it off or taking a shot right there, a shot that's not as potent as we've seen from Torrealba, but that's going to be a key for the Sockers to defend, is that midfield defense, to make sure that there's no runners right behind him or runners in front of him.
Pardo read that header-on attempt and cleared it out. Now trying again in the air, Falsone. Off the hip of Pereira, and then a collision and a common foul called against Pereira as he gets into the body of Jeff Mashad, who thought there should have been a blue card. Amati on attack. Mershad Amati, who's got a goal. Wall pass off the leg of Falsone, blows out in the corner. Ruggles can't get it loose. Pacheco kicks it out to the top of the crease. Battle for possession there. And with no whistle, it's going to come all the way back to Briggs, who then puts a hard shot onto Paolo's foot with 3:45 on a running clock in the first quarter. 2-1 St. Louis. All the goal scoring in the first 4 minutes, 31 seconds. Pardo waits to collect this one in his area. He's got his outlet Pacheco to his right. Jesus Pacheco, first season with the Sockers, 10 goals, 7 assists in the regular season. Part of the young new wave of this club, along with Sebastian Mendez, who gets the ball right here. Tavoy would probably be the oldest member of the new wave. Just turned 31 this season. Tavoy turns to shoot, blocked by Briggs. Pacheco recovers a spinning, bouncing ball at midfield. Working the 12th minute off the clock. Leo twice tried to make a move with the ball and didn't have the ball on his foot. Now he's got it, sends it to Morgan. Morgan dancing in, gets past Briggs, shoots! Out came Paolo for a sliding save. And as that ball touched over the low wall out of bounds, we have a dead ball, and we've got our first media timeout. An auspicious start for the visitors who need to win to force a knockout game tonight. It's 2-1, St. Louis leading San Diego. You're watching the MASL Ron Newman Cup playoffs on Golazo.
From the Pacific to the desert, our members work hard, dream big, and always fight for what's important. For over 70 years, Front Wave Credit Union has been serving those who serve and helping our members take their financial plans to the next level. Because our value and values run deep, and we'll always fight for you with 100% commitment and no excuses. Open an account with Front Wave Credit Union today, and you could get a $350 bonus when you switch. Front Wave Credit Union. Dream big. We got you.
Not medically necessary. Out of network. Request denied. Referral denied. Claim denied. Denied.
What if insurance, doctors, pharmacies came together and worked as one team?
If you can't get what you want, come with me.
That would be a better idea for healthcare. Kaiser Permanente.
Earlier tonight, the MASL Supporters Shield for 2025-26 presented to Captain and now Assistant Coach Craig Childs from Frank Saragosa and Arturo Venegas. Frank, a season ticket member since 1985. Arturo, also known as Chupas, one of the capos of our official supporters group, Los Brujos del 78. A beautiful moment before the match. Off the restart, it's Falsone shooting wide as a counterattack opportunity developed right away for the St. Louis ambush. Robert Williamson now dancing in. The visiting ambush with a 2-1 lead. They must win to keep their season alive. If they do, we'll take a timeout at the end of the fourth quarter. We'll essentially add a second halftime to the broadcast, and then we will come back with a game that, for all intents and purposes, begins at the start of the fourth quarter, the knockout game. This is a deflection that could be trouble. Pardo got his paws on it, and then the wash went by as the spinning ball was waiting by his gloves for him to get that second grab.
Yeah, Pardo did well in order to get in front of that ball as he saw that there was going to be a collision enough to, oh, watch out.
Serta gets past his man Torrealba. But the Sockers are not in an attacking position right yet. Got some attackers on the floor, though, including Serta, who had a goal and 8 assists in his last 3 games once he started wearing the captain's armband, and he got the first goal of match 1 of the playoffs as well. Looking for Tavoy. Great pass to get it to him. Tavoy trying to reverse spin, and Briggs read the play all the way. And then Yuri did well to push Morgan into the balls, and then Tavoy gets it back, feeds it low, and it's Paolo who's able to gobble it up.
Very well done by Paulo, who also does very well in his area, but also knows how to come out whenever he needs to outside of that space. That's why he's a candidate and more than likely goalkeeper of the year for this MASL season.
Both goalkeepers on the floor tonight had a shutout in the MASL this year. And for both of them, it was their first regular season shutout of their career. Torrealba tried for the flying Walenda. He would have been immortalized if that went in. Back to earth, son.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you have to try anything and everything against a team that has you pinned against the wall, and that's maybe the advantage potentially that St. Louis has, where San Diego knows that they have a game already won here, and maybe they're not potentially ready to go all out, where St. Louis has no choice but to go all out.
Oh, slide tackle attempt. Leo crashing down. Toba in pursuit. Something has to happen. They call a handball. Leo wants a challenge flag. Phil Salvaggio's crazy enough he could do it. And I believe Craig Childs literally said to him, put that in your pocket. Because it's not the opportune time for a call. Leo just knows that there was a mistake on that call. And he's probably right, but what's gonna come of it? A corner kick? John Gates, the rookie, has played really well for St. Louis this year. Oh, Williamson saw it come off the wall. For a second, it looked like he was going to be able to turn into a cannon shot. Instead, time expires. But St. Louis, a very impressive opening first 15 minutes of this match. They scored the first goal 56 seconds in from their outstanding, precocious rookie, Mario Falsone. Luis Morales answered at 3:05 for San Diego, and then right back at 4:31, Marshawn Amati converted a top-of-the-arc set piece. And after 15 minutes, it's 2-1 St. Louis. Second quarter run of the Ron Newman Cup semifinals after this break on the CBS Sports Golazo Network.
Front Wave Credit Union, we're all in on you. You're not just a number, you're a member. And we're putting $350 behind what we believe in. Get started today. Dream big. We got you.
Is it normal to sweat this much? This is awful. This is a mean sweat. Quit looking at me, Susan. When was the last time I ate something planted? It's not that I don't like vegetables. Doctor, I said stuff. I can't pay for a nutritionist. Why is this always such a whole big thing?
With nutrition counseling included, staying on top of your health doesn't have to be a whole big thing. Kaiser Permanente. Healthcare that just works.
Please signal runway 26 right, clear to land.
Parents, if we're on screens too much, what about you?
So let's ditch them and go outside on safari to hang with the coolest, kookiest, tallest animals ever. Whoa! We can hop with them.
Get real close to them.
And every visit helps the animals. But that screen you're on can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd
at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park.
A raucous Front Wave Arena, hoping to have something to celebrate later tonight. St. Louis has a 2-1 lead. Well, Craig Giles, the Sockers' longtime captain and all-time leading scorer, went down with a knee injury on March 15th. Ever since, Cesar Cerda has worn the captain's armband, and since he's done so, he's just been dynamite. 9 points, we mentioned earlier, 8 in the last 3 matches regular season, then a goal in the opener of the playoffs. But within that, 2 different fourth quarter equalizing assists. He assisted on the equalizer and the game winner in one of the matches, had the game-winning overtime goal against Kansas City that clinched the shield for San Diego. Cerda is always a tenacious defender, Tony Sanchez, but when he starts to become offensively creative as well, truly one of the best players in this sport.
Yeah, it's one of those players that knows exactly where he needs to be, and even where he doesn't need to be, he's always present and pulling those strings, not just on defensive side, telling his teammates exactly how to defend, how to help him out, but creatively he knows how to go ahead and place a good shot, and also knows when to lay off a ball very well. So keep an eye on El Capitán número 29, Cesar Cerda.
2 teams switch sides on the floor. San Diego in blue attacking right to left. St. Louis in white trimmed in green and pink. They are going left to right. It's Sebastian Mendez on the ball, over to Stefan Mijatovic, who the Sockers acquired as a free agent pickup prior to the deadline. Had been let go by his club he was with earlier in the year, Kansas City. Ball was deflected off Pacheco's shot attempt, and look at this. Yuri tracks it down first, shoots in, plays it off the wall. A ball that hops away from Pardo. Mijatovic has it covered in the corner, but it's a dangerous corner. For the 3rd time, Fernando Pena gets smacked in the leg with a hard kick. This is the danger of being an official in the MASL. Pena hobbling his way up the floor just a little bit.
It's a physical game, and what we see from Ambush already is a ball that's a clearance. It almost turned into an assist, and it's that inexhaustible stamina that they seem to have worked on this entire season, and this is the game where they have to let it all out, knowing that there is a possibility of a 3rd game. They need to go ahead and make sure that they secure this one, but the Sockers still have plenty of time to go ahead and come back and make sure that they set the tone, because so far it's been all St. Louis.
Williamson directed the joystick backwards and then to the left, and now he's going forward. Sends a ball into the corner. Pardo's going to be the first to touch it. Out to Cerda on the half wall. Double team, arcs a pass outward. Easily outrunning Pereira back to it is Mershad Amati. Now Pereira's got Paolo tangled in the corner. Crashing in is Mashad to try and take it away. Pereira goes down, gets a shot off as he falls, and Paolo makes the shot on the short post. An easy save.
It's that creativity of Nick Pereira, who can make something out of nothing as he's falling down. He's still able to have the wherewithal to make sure that he gets a shot off potentially for a rebound and or an assist. He's dangerous on the ground, vertically, horizontally, wherever you put him. It's a two-time MASL MVP right there.
Mijatovic stepping in front, he lost it, but a foul is called. Falsone fouls Mijatovic. And that whistle is all that stood between Falsone and a second breakaway.
Yeah, you can see it here as Falsone goes to ground and clips the back of Mijatovic, gets the ball but doesn't touch the ball. Good call there from Fernando Peña.
Milton looking for Leo, but the ball's going to hop easily into Paolo's waiting grasp. Big crowd for this deciding match on a Sunday evening in North County, coastal San Diego. Oh, ball came through. It's Gates, the rookie. Defense got back, but Gates still has it. Lays it off, and Pardo makes the save. Denying a player in the corner, and now a foul called against. And running off, that was the rookie Ozzy Santana, pardon me, Ozzy Santana, that had the chance. Ball saved, rebound off of the crossbar. Third chance off the front wave Credit Union logo. Once again, an uncorralled ball turned into a golden second chance, just missed by inaccuracy. St. Louis should really have their third goal right here, Tony.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's one of these things where you can see the defenders and Boris needing to attack this ball. This ball bounces off of Pardo as he tries to get back up. It's a missed opportunity, but it's these spillages that are happening so close to net that have St. Louis really having a lot of dangerous looks, and San Diego's gonna need to fix that if they want to go ahead and have a chance to stop the bleeding in that sort of way.
Pereira and Charlie in a well-guarded offensive midfield here. St. Louis not getting San Diego, but maybe now. Paolo comes out, goes right through Nick to deny that aerial chance. Can the Sockers get to this ball up the middle first? They can, before Colin O'Keefe could run on it for the ambush. What an interesting contrast in styles. Styles make fights, and we've got quite a fight of styles in this match.
Just a veteran presence and the know-how to get that ball almost to Nick Pereira, but Paolo just doing very well and anticipating, and that creating a counterattack opportunity. That's why these two are some of the best in MASL this year.
Charlie. Serta to Pereira. Nick backing in, tiptoe pass, shot, score! They did it again. The Pereira to Mendez Express connects for an equalizer at 4:32 in the second. 2-2 tie.
And well, we've seen this enough. We could say this as vintage Pereira and Mendez as Pereira begins to back up into Briggs. And that's enough to lay it off for Mendez to come in with that powerful left and connect it right where he needs to. Low and slow, very well past Paulo Nascimento. We've seen Nick this game have a couple of chances where he has that opportunity to turn. He does, but this time, instead of turning, he just lays it off. And it's that mental game that has the Sockers now tying it up 2-2.
Mendez is first of the playoffs. Pereira's second assist of the playoffs, 4th point overall. Back to even standing in this contentious match 2. Common foul called against Serta, who has to be careful. He is one player that occasionally, and very occasionally, can be prone to a wild foul that turns into a blue plus a yellow with an overarching comment. The Sockers need him on the floor. Shot blocked by Morales and Serta as Torrealba was looking for more. Daniel Torrealba, one thing you know, he's gonna shoot. He's looking to shoot right now. If he gets this ball, he's gonna shoot. And blocking it was Pee-wee Ortega. Chested by Serta to Pardo.
It doesn't matter the angle. Torrealba's gonna have a chance to toe poke it, to shoot it with the laces, the outside of the foot. He's gonna have a look, and he is dangerous enough to make it happen. As this is gonna go
3-line pass.
Yep.
Serta has made his second passing error of the half. The first was a defensive clearance that led to a top-of-the-arc free kick that St. Louis scored on to take the lead. This time it's a 3-line pass, which leads to a slightly less dangerous, but sometimes more dangerous because the defense is more spread out. Yellow line restart. Briggs will make it easy on everyone and shoot it above frame and out of play. Catch MASL Monday every Monday night on MASL TV and here on the CBS Sports Golasso Network, where Alex Bastrevensky and Phil Ivanko are joined each week by special guests from across the league, recapping the weekend's action and discussing the league's hot topics. Back in front, catastrophe for San Diego. Falsone celebrating 3-2. How did it happen?
Well, dispossession on Cesar Cerda, who lays on the floor with his hands on his face, knowing that he should have done much better with this, just putting himself in hot water, first time shot. With the defensive captain there making a defensive mistake now. He needs to get his head in the game and really have the Sockers cool things down, bring the temperature down, and start making less mental mistakes overall.
It's one of these things, you know, it can be nothing, but when a visiting team takes 3 different leads, you start to feel so confident that you're going to win the game. And this is twice now that San Diego's answered and then given up the next goal. And each time they've done it quickly. That was 56 seconds after scoring. The time prior, it was 1 minute and 26 after scoring. So an old habit from the early and middle part of the season is finding itself right back as the Sockers get pressured early. And this time there's just no question, as flailing around in a pathetic attempt to draw a foul was Daniel Torrealba there. That was some dark arts that really were just more like coloring with black finger paint. Nothing much there. It's kind of a smudge. Williamson now coming forward. Here's Torrealba. This is what he does well. Off the wall, off the hand of Pardo, into the corner. Pereira is there, but he's bracketed and in trouble. His outlet is Morales, and he's thankful that it gets there. And it's over to Ruggles, and the Sockers are being pressured, and St. Louis is finding success. And it's just a matter of time unless they can clean it up. Heading toward the second media timeout now. We're under 8 minutes to play. Next dead ball will be the second media timeout. Charlie coming in, wants to make it a goal for a dead ball. Gonzalez trying to shovel a pass through. Sockers thought it was a handball. So did this big crowd at Front Wave Arena. They're yelling and groaning. And Phil Salvaggio is challenging, which is only going to lead to a free kick. It'll be a common foul. This is a really risky use of a playoff challenge flag, but Phil believes he's going to get his flag back. The way that MASL video review works, if you're new to the league and the sport, it's the second year of this system. Here's Rich Grady.
San Diego is challenging for potential blue card on a handball. The play is under review.
You have to say it's a blue card in order to throw a challenge flag, even though you'll get your flag back if they reverse it to a common foul. Let's listen in on MASL video review with Rich Grady and Fernando Pena. I mean, it's an obvious handball.
Yeah, the ball, hits the wrist and everything. And
yeah. It's not a blue card at all. It's a common foul.
Correct. And that's part of the strategy of having a pass at that midsection is the potential for a handball. The ball is going to go ahead and try to get to that middle, but good for Charlie.
For it to be a blue card, it has to deny an obvious scoring opportunity. And I think with all that scrum in between, it's going to be pretty hard to justify that. But Rich is going to give it a second look. I think they can all see it's a blue card, or it's a handball. And the question is either intentionality or prevention of a scoring opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, there's no other Sockers. There's one There's Nilton de Andrade, but he had coverage. He was very well marked there. As the play continues, should be an open and shut case here.
One would think, which Grady is now talking to the fourth official, Karen De Leon, to make the proper note on the big board there. And now we're going to get the announcement, and Rich did grab the red flag, which is a good sign.
After review, it was a handling offense. Simple foul, free kick San Diego. Number 6. Number 6, St. Louis is charged with a foul. San Diego retains their challenge.
All right, so you can do that once. Now the Sockers, whether they're right or wrong, only have one more challenge the rest of the game. So they need to be very judicious in finding an important goal-scoring type play. Now, not to say that this couldn't be a goal-scoring play, because look what Phil has earned with his challenge. He has earned a free kick about 8 to 10 feet left of the center dot and about 1.5 feet inside it.
You have to feel very confident with the people that you have and the personnel on dead ball situation here with the set piece, Pereira and Morales.
Charlie essentially out of the play. He's way off on the right wing. You've got Ruggles on the far post. He's being marked by Williamson. Paolo's looking for the direct shots. Morales is going to step over, and then Pereira shoots into the wall. Well blocked. Now St. Louis is going to try and run. Ruggles got a bump into Machad, but it's off to Esque, who leaves it, trying to send it to Martinez, taken away by Leo. Leo with some great defense there for San Diego.
Yeah, Leo being that connector in the midfield. That's why he's so important with the Sockers team that has a midfield that's been depleted all season. You need to have somebody traveling back and forth. Boris looking for Nick down in the corner here.
Pereira holding. This is how they got their last goal. Pereira getting leaned on by Williamson, waiting for the overlapping runner. It's Serta. Squirts up into the air, and it falls into Nascimento's hands. 6:56, second quarter, clock running. Match 2. Match 1 was 6-5 San Diego. In that match, San Diego led 2-0 early. Fell behind in the third quarter, 3-2. Gave up 3 straight goals between the first, second, and third quarters. Then the game opened up in the third quarter. Here's Torrealba creeping in on left wing. Tried to square a pass, then he shoots it out of play and brings us to timeout. Point being, there's a lot of time left and the game could hit the accelerator pedal anytime. So stay tuned, Indoor Soccer family. We're back with the rest of the first half after this timeout on the CBS Sports Golazo Network.
From the Pacific to the desert, our members work hard, dream big, and always fight for what's important. For over 70 years, Front Wave Credit Union has been serving those who serve and helping our members build equity and refinance with confidence. Invest in your future with a commercial real estate loan. From residential investment properties to industrial real estate, we've got you covered with 100% commitment and no excuses. Front Wave Credit Union. Dream big. We got you.
Parents, if we're on screens too much, what about you?
So let's ditch them and go outside on safari to hang with the coolest, kookiest, tallest animals ever. Whoa! We can hop with them,
Get real close to them.
and every visit helps the animals. But that screen you're on can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd
At the San Diego Zoo Safari Park.
Match 2 of the Ron Newman Cup semifinals. Let's tell you about match 1. If you didn't see it here on Golazo on Friday night, the Sockers going to Family Arena, the Family Arena, and beating the Ambush 6-5. Nick Pereira paced the offense with 2 goals and an assist. Cesar Serna, 1 goal. They actually revised to 5 block shots. While it was Christian Briggs, a hat trick, Daniel Torrealba, 2 goals for St. Louis. We were just talking about it. The game flow was 2-0 San Diego to 3-2 St. Louis. Seesawing up to 3-3, 4-4, 5-4 San Diego. Leo from Nilton early fourth quarter, 6-4. Sockers hang on to that lead until late, concede once. No sixth attacker joy for either side. 6-5 the final score. Charlie shoots! Paolo through the wall made the save.
What a tight space for Charlie to get that ball through, and knowing that even if it's a rebound, you have somebody to collect it. But watch out here with the counterattack from St. Louis.
And it's led by the man in the middle, Falsone. Looking for Togba, who picks it up, but could not attack goal. James Togba. Crosses over. Togba, a Liberian. Second year with St. Louis. Played with Kansas City for a while. Utica as well. That shot blocked by Charlie in front of Pardo. As Ranger gets out of the way of the ball this time. It is pushed all the way back to Nacimiento. A 3-2 lead for the ambush. Next goal, pretty big. Oh, Pardo thought he was going to get a head on the ball. He actually didn't. Shot was blocked by Raymond, point blank. That might have saved a goal right there. Ozzy Santana had a good look.
It was a good ball by Paulo to create that 50-50, but the 50-50 ended up being between defender and goalkeeper. Fortunate there for the Sockers not to get a goal or a more dangerous look, but St. Louis is showing different dynamic ways of attacking, on the air, on the ground, counterattacking.
Michaud. Out to Ozzy. Brazilian, 26 years old. Dancing in on his first year with the club. Gets pushed off for a moment. He and Mendez get together. The fans right there in the first row are standing because they thought they saw Ozzy's arm come up into Mendez's face. But both guys very much committed a foul, and Mendez was the one who got called for.
And at these quick restarts, there's going to be a delay of game.
Delay of game warning against the Sockers. Next one would be a yellow. This could be a yellow right now. Pee Wee keeps yelling. Mijatovic is down low with Torrealba, who picks up the ball in the right corner. Pee Wee comes crashing in, and it's back to Torrealba. Blocked again. Either Morales or Pee Wee got their leg on that one. Huge stop of Torrealba at the top of the crease. I think he had the far post marked in. Now it's Yuri. Collision. Common foul. Blue card is the FAR official's call. Rich Grady is going to blue card up Pee Wee and put the ambush on the power play.
Pee Wee with the desperation slide tackle there, making contact with the back of the leg. We'll hear it here.
San Diego, 69, 2 minutes, tripping, power play.
As we see the replay here, Pee Wee believes he has a chance to get to that ball, but unfortunately makes contact with the back heel, and pretty dangerous position there, putting the San Diego in a power play situation. Pee Wee, from the last play, actually, since he was arguing, just didn't seem to be connected with the play.
Yeah, and he was crashing around all over the place. Well, Riley Uri has to be helped off. Athletic trainer Cody Elmendorf had him around the shoulder. This power play begins with 4:15 left in the half. It'll count either to 2:15 or to an ambush goal. The Sockers used to have the best penalty kill in the league until the end of the season. They are currently on a 7 power play concession streak. Kansas City got them 6 times in a row, and St. Louis got them in match 1 in their one and only attempt. William Esquet and Torrealba with Briggs, who is an excellent back post power play candidate. The veteran Lucas Almeida is lurking down low as well. Looks like Amadi, perhaps the last player for St. Louis. Minute 28, good ball movement by the ambush. Just trying to figure out a seam in this diamond defense. It's Leo de Oliveira Jesus Pacheco, Cesar Cerda, and Mitchell Cardenas on the power play defense for San Diego. This is a new unit from the one that was bleeding and leaking so much gas at the end of the year. Leo in particular, the key addition. Let's see if it works. They killed about 90 seconds of the power play last time. Almeida, that's a goal. And that's 8 straight concessions for San Diego. Lucas Almeida off the hand of Boris Pardo and in for 4-2 St. Louis. What a start for the visitors.
And from the beginning of the power play, you saw St. Louis almost treating this as a drill where they restart everything from Willie SK in the middle and then just try to work their way through. Finally, they see that window and they're able to get that shot past Boris Pardo, doubling their lead 4-2. And also, you get a chance to wear down that defense even slightly. So now with 3:16 left in this half, you're going to have to show some offense, and sometimes offense is the best defense, and the Sockers have to respond here.
Briggs gets the assist on that goal. Well, each of the last 2 goals, the Cerda one really the most disappointing. But to see this penalty kill unit just completely turn into paper mache, Tony, it's a shocking collapse for the league's most experienced team to suddenly turn from easily the best penalty kill to easily the worst penalty kill in the entire league. No one has given up goals at the rate San Diego has the last 3 matches.
That was a poor ball from Boris upfield and put the Sockers in a difficult position and now had to foul to avoid the counterattack. And yes, it's a physical game, but it's also the mental aspect that can take you out of a match. And right now, St. Louis mentally is the better team, not just physically as well.
I think it's pretty clear. Sockers have had moments, but unfortunately those moments did not lead to a buildup in momentum yet. However, the Sockers were trailing this same team 4-1 late in the 3rd quarter last time they faced each other here. And as the guy who announced that game with Tony right beside me, they were playing far worse in that game than they are today. I think the difference is there's been some, oh, now what? Now what? Williamson with words for Raymond. Williamson wanted to keep it going. Cerda, the captain, stepped in as a peacemaker.
As you see here, it's just a common foul here, and words get exchanged between Raymond and the players. Yeah, it's common foul, but then after is Raymond just getting in front of the ball and knowing that St. Louis likes to play fast, and that's an advantage that they have over the Sockers, who don't necessarily like that sort of play because they can't necessarily keep up with that experience, those veteran legs.
Foul on Torrealba. Sockers now trailing by 2 for the first time. First time anyone has had a 2-goal lead in this match. And it would feel a little bit like stealing, but the San Diego would really love to get one back here, even if they're losing at the half, to feel like they staunched the bleeding for the moment. Nonetheless, again, I will say this team prides itself on saying give up 4 or fewer, 5 kind of at the most, and you can win every time. That ball blocked away by Christian Briggs on the shot from Mijatovic. They've already given up 4. They're on a pace to give up 8 or 9. Here's a chance for another, but Pardo is able to catch it out of the air.
Yeah, risky to wait for that ball, and
good crash. Ozzy steals, leaves it. Mijatovic trying to run interference. Blue card on Mijatovic. Unnecessary, potentially deadly to the playoff hopes.
2 minutes, boarding.
Second blue card of the series for Mijatovic.
Just an unnecessary hip check with the shoulder into the boards right there. Nothing to do. There was a chance to let the player get the ball and then come back, retreat, set yourself up in a defensive position, which you're known for, and you instead hurt the team, get a blue card, 2 minutes, another power play situation. What we've talked about, Sockers essentially almost a guarantee.
Yeah, at this point, it's on the Sockers to end the bleeding, to end the fire hose of power play goals. St. Louis can smell a 5-2 lead right now. This might be the most important moment in match 2. And who knows, maybe the series. Again, San Diego can lose this game, win a knockout game, and still advance. Every Ron Newman Cup playoff series, there's only been 3, but this is the 4th, they've all gone to the knockout game. St. Louis right now is playing like a team that very well could go to the knockout game and then win as the younger, fitter, fresher team. The Sockers' last 3 seasons have ended in knockout games, all at the hands of the younger, fitter, fresher Chihuahua Savage, who then left the league. Final minute of the half. Flopping is Eske. Eske's calling for a challenge for a 2-man advantage. Meanwhile, Leo is jumping on the steal with 47 seconds left in the half. There will be 22 seconds of power play for St. Louis to start the 3rd quarter. This ball gets forward to Pereira, which is great news for San Diego, just to knock it down into the corner. 33 seconds on the game clock. Common foul on Pereira. Very tactical and very cynical as well, just to deny things.
Tag, you're it, as I'm coming out. Took one there.
Troy Alba just tiptoed one to the edge of the crease, hoping for chaos to happen. St. Louis gets the ball back with 15 seconds left with Eske. William Eske. Almeida, foul called on San Diego. Free kick coming up. Eske saying he really should have called a blue card earlier.
And this is the mental aspect of the game, as we've been mentioning, as Eske tries to go in between Pacheco and Cardenas. Just knowing that there's going to be contact, goes to ground in that moment. And that's what St. Louis is going to be looking for the rest of this match, as you see a flustered San Diego team who needs to gather their composure in order to make sure that they don't lose the plot. As Cesar Cerda is demanding for this game to continue.
Now he will. I was just trying to double check to see if Eske's got the captain's armband. Sent to the middle, looking for Eske's toe. Eske crashes to prevent an easy clearance for San Diego. Still in trouble, now probably out of it. 3 seconds left. And that's a whistle and a foul on Cerda. Who might be running his RPMs a little too high in this first half. I think it's fair to say.
That's one thing where, as a captain, if you lead by example, if the example isn't the best, your team is going to follow suit.
That's right. That's exactly right. I mean, Cesar can be pointed at for 2 of these goals pretty clearly. This one's off the wall. And that's how the half comes to an end. But the giveaway that led to a goal, and in addition, the defensive clearance that led to, well, it looks like a card was about to come out on Mitchell there at the end. We're keeping our eye on what's happening as the Sockers are all verklempt. Pee-wee's in the face of Rich Grady. Mijatovic is in the face of Rich Grady. Cheeky Luna, assistant coach, is coming over to try and prevent a yellow. And all things considered, a great first half for St. Louis. I think all the Ambush fans at the watch party back in St. Louis are probably pretty happy with the Sockers yelling at the refs while the Ambush walk into the locker room with a 2-goal lead. 30 minutes away from a knockout game. San Diego's home field advantage has been less than over the course of this season. They only finished 7-5. Here's Phil Salvaggio with Nick.
Coach Salvaggio, emotions are running high here in Front Wave Arena. What's the conversation going to be like in the locker room to get the Sockers back in this game?
Well, it's playoffs, and that's what it is. It's more intense, and you know, that's what you're going to have when you got a good crowd and you got and everything's on the line.
It was just a few weeks ago that we were saying goodbye to the all-time leading goal scorer in San Diego Soccer's history. He's back, but now as a coach, what's it been like with his ability to install and assist with the set pieces and special teams with the Sockers as a coach, Craig Childs?
Yeah, it's been good. We got 2 of the last game, but nothing today. It's been a challenge, this game right now.
Good luck in the second half, Coach.
Thank you, Nick.
Craig, Tony,
Coming
back to
up
you.
on the Ron Newman Cup Playoffs halftime show here on the CBS Sports Golazo Network. You just heard from Sockers head coach Phil Salvaggio. Next, a pre-match taped interview with St. Louis head coach Jeff Locker. So Ambush fans, stay tuned. You'll hear from your head coach next, plus the MASL in 5. First half highlights, second half kickoff. All coming up on the CBS Sports Golazo Network.
From the Pacific to the desert, our members work hard, dream big, and always fight for what's important. For over 70 years, Front Wave Credit Union has been serving those who serve and helping our members grow their businesses with confidence. Whether you need a vehicle to drive your business forward or gear to get the job done, we've got you covered with 100% commitment and no excuses. Open an account with Front Wave Credit Union today, and you could get a $350 bonus when you switch. Front Wave Credit Union. Dream big. We got you.
Please hold. Not medically necessary. Out of network. Request denied. Referral denied. Claim denied. Denied.
What if insurance, doctors, pharmacies came together and worked as one team?
If you can't get what you want, come with me.
That would be a better idea for healthcare. Kaiser Permanente.
Parents, if we're on screens too much, what about you?
So let's ditch them and go outside on safari to hang with the coolest, kookiest, tallest animals ever. Whoa! We can hop with them.
Get real close to them.
And every visit helps the animals. But that screen around can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd
At the San Diego Zoo Safari Park.
Please signal from 6 break. We don't.
It's halftime on the CBS Sports Golazo Network. Match 2 of the Ron Newman Cup semifinals between the San Diego Sockers and the St. Louis Ambush. It's my pleasure downstairs to be joined by one of the 3 coaches up for Head Coach of the Year in the MASL. St. Louis's Jeff Locker. Coach, what do you think was the big turnaround for this team? Now, last year you had a big second half push, made it into the playoffs. Did you feel like that momentum carried into this season?
Yeah, I think that played a big part into this season. I think we had some late season acquisitions last year that we're able to keep going into this year, and we kind of built around those guys and went with more of a youth movement, which I think everyone can see. You know, it's a much different squad than what the San Diego Sockers have. You know, they have a lot of experience. We have a lot of youth, but I think that's really helped us throughout this season for us.
Certainly, that's one thing I've noticed is the Ambush have an identity now. You're young, you run, you fly, you counter, and you've got 2 great goalkeepers.
We do. You know, it's always hard to go into a game, you know, not really sure who you want to play, you know, because they're both playing phenomenal. And so there's really not a whole lot of difference between either one of them. But they both perform at a very high level, yes.
When you look at some of your new acquisitions, Daniel Torrealba obviously has been able to step into a striking role for you, but the kid Mario Falsone as well. What a find.
Yeah, Mario was a great find. We found him playing USL2 over the summer and got him to come play indoor with us, and he's been a great pickup for us. But, you know, he just adds that youth movement, right? You know, we're really looking to how do we bring in the young guys? How do we continue to build around what we want our identity to look like and really recruit to those kind of positions?
Much like San Diego, St. Louis has some of the best indoor soccer history around. The St. Louis Steamers, 19,000 in the big dome back in the day. What could you say about where St. Louis Ambush culture is with the fans right now?
Yeah, I think it's at an all-time high. You know, I think we've had some great turnouts for the season, for a lot of the games, and obviously for the playoff games. A lot of people are, you know, coming out and supporting us, trying to rebuild what the Steamers had once built, you know, with having our new identity and trying to bring in, you know, how do we bring in this fast-paced game, right? I think they like to see a lot of goals. I think they'd like to see a lot of transition. So I think we're getting a lot of fan support that we haven't had in years past.
And, of course, with this 8-team league this year, you're one, like Phil Salvaggio, a person who's in ownership as well as coaching. So what are your thoughts on just how the league has, I wouldn't say weathered, I'd say really flourished this season?
It really has, and I think, because we've done so well, and I think, the teams have all really established themselves within the league, we're attracting new talent, we're attracting new teams. So I think next year, the next couple years, it'll be a great step forward for the MASL. So I'm really encouraged by that.
Well, great stuff throughout the regular season and now into the playoffs for the St. Louis Ambush. Their head coach is Jeff Locker. Coach, thanks so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
We'll be right back. We're going to bring you MASL in 5 next, then first half highlights, second half kickoff on Golasso.
There's regular cold, and then there's the mountains are blue cold. Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
At Front Wave Credit Union, we're all in on you. You're not just a number, you're a member. And we're putting $350 behind what we believe in. Get started today. Dream big. We got you.
With the call from 6th grade, we don't.
Insurance, doctors, pharmacies came together and worked as one team.
If you can't get what you want, come with me.
That would be a better idea for healthcare. Kaiser Permanente.
Parents, if we're on screens too much, what about you?
So let's ditch them and go outside on safari to hang with the coolest, kookiest, tallest animals ever. Whoa! We can hop with them,
Get real close to them.
and every visit helps the animals. But that screen you're on can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd
At the San Diego Zoo Safari Park.
What's up, soccer fans? Alex Bastiavansky here, back in the MASL studio. Hope everybody had a fantastic week. A lot went down over the past few days in the league, and I'm here to tell you all about it in just 5 minutes. So let's go.
Fortunately, the Blast could not convert. Now, Pereira off the inboard in front. And putting it away is Jonathan Mello.
Milwaukee and Baltimore squared off in semifinal number 1 last week. And in game 1, it was the Blast controlling the game most of the way. Juan Pereira had a monster performance for the visitors, racking up 4 points, including that beauty right there. 2 goals, 2 assists, being named the first star in the process. Baltimore held on for the 7-5 win to go up in the best-of-3 series. Game 2 went on Monday, and with the Wave needing a win to survive, it was super rookie Oscar Flores stepping up big time. He was named the game's first star with 3 points, and that total included this.
Almost found Tony Walls on a header far post. Grable keeps it alive.
Oh my goodness, what a goal!
Did
what
he
a
really
goal!
do that? Oh my goodness! Oscar Flores, who had the goal of the season during the regular campaign, might have one of the playoffs.
That was so good. ESPN SportsCenter had it as their number 1 play of the night in all of sports. Unreal. Milwaukee won 5-4 to force the knockout game, which was tied 1-1 with just over a minute remaining.
Sanchez for Hain. Heads it on off the inboard. Ian Bennett battling for position down there. Ian sends it in. They couldn't get it. Hain with a shot for goal! Andre knocks it in!
We're gonna look at this instant replay. Shane Butler already signaling.
High drama. The officials reviewed the play. Now, they were looking for a handball from Ian Bennett here along the boards. The problem was it was just so tough to tell conclusively if it did or didn't happen. So the officials made the call.
Right. After review, the call on the field stands. That is a goal.
Elation for Milwaukee, heartbreak for Baltimore. The Wave win the knockout game 2-1. They advance to their first Ron Newman Cup final since winning it all back in 2019. Now they await the winner of the series you are watching right now, San Diego and St. Louis. The #1 seed versus the 4th. During the regular season, they only played once on March 22nd. The Ambush had a 4-1 lead, but the Sockers rallied back to win in OT on this Devoy Morgan goal. So will it be the Sockers or Ambush facing the Wave in the grand finale? We shall see. And there was some other big news going down last week.
And we are excited to announce that we have purchased the team and we'll be moving it here, opening here in Lehigh Valley this coming fall.
That was a press conference in Allentown, Pennsylvania, where it was announced that an MASL franchise has been granted to Lehigh Valley to begin play next season. It'll be co-owned by Rob and Jim Brooks, who also own the Lehigh Valley Phantoms of the American Hockey League, who play out of the gorgeous PPL Center. So the two teams will share the building. It is a huge step forward for the MASL, who, as Commissioner Keith Tozer mentioned at the press conference, is thrilled to have the new franchise aboard. Time now for the top plays from the Milwaukee-Baltimore semifinal series.
And Perez was going to come out. Here comes Pereira. Oh, my goodness.
He scores on the counterattack off the Wave restart.
It's right here in Milwaukee. Sanchez fires just a bit out. Rebound, follow Perez! And we're back to even at one apiece. No doubt Danny, who coached the Blast for 16 seasons, has what a move there by Alejandro Chavez for the advantage here. Kane lays it off, great pass coming through. Shot.
Oh, what a goal.
Oh, Alex Sanchez! Had to play it off the inboard and looking for Carvalho, couldn't get it. Correa!
Oh, Cesar.
Sports-wise and otherwise. Oh, what a shot there.
That
Nico.
was one.
Far post. Grable keeps it alive.
Oh, my goodness. What a goal. What a goal.
Do that? Oh, my goodness. Off the inboard, Ian Bennett battling for position down there. Ian sends it in. They couldn't get it. Hayden with a shot for goal! Andre knocks it in! And for the first time since 2019, the Milwaukee Wave is going to the Ron Newman Cup Championship.
And that's going to wrap up this week's show. But just a reminder, of course, to stay up to date on everything that's going on in the MASL all throughout the season, be sure to check out the league's official social media outlets. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
To the desert, our members work hard, dream big, and always fight for what's important. For over 70 years, Front Wave Credit Union has been serving those who serve and helping our members grow their businesses with confidence. Whether you need a vehicle to drive your business forward or gear to get the job done, we've got you covered with 100% commitment and no excuses. Open an account with Front Wave Credit Union today, and you could get a $350 bonus when you switch. Front Wave Credit Union. Dream big. We got you.
Parents, if we're on screens too much, what about you?
So let's ditch them and go outside on safari to hang with the coolest, kookiest, tallest animals ever. Whoa! We can hop with them,
Get real close to them.
and every visit helps the animals. But that screen you're on can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd
At the San Diego Zoo Safari Park.
Is it normal to sweat this much? This is awful. This is a mean sweat. Quit looking at me, Susan. When was the last time I ate something planted? It's not that I don't like vegetables. Doctor, I said stuff. I can't pay for a nutritionist. Why is this always such a whole big thing?
With nutrition counseling included, staying on top of your health doesn't have to be a whole big thing. Kaiser Permanente, healthcare that just works.
With the call from 6th grade, we don't start.
We're back at Front Wave Arena and getting ready for the start of the third quarter. This is match 2 of the Ron Newman Cup semifinals between the St. Louis Ambush and the San Diego Sockers. St. Louis leading 4-2. The Ambush must win to force a 15-minute knockout game to follow. Here's the highlights of the first quarter, which saw this early goal just 56 seconds in, a shot that got hipped up into the crease but not out. Mario Falsone able to beat Morales and Ruggles to the ball and put it in for a quick 1-0 lead. They're about to begin, so we'll get to some more highlights toward the end of the match. It went like this: 1-0, 1-1, 2-1 St. Louis, 2-2, 3-2 St. Louis, and then a St. Louis power play goal for 4-2. And right now, 18 seconds remain on the Ambush's second power play of the night. Stefan Mijatovic in the box for boarding. San Diego needs to hold them off for 10 seconds. And this will be as Chris Toth is in net now, replacing Boris Pardo. And an opportunity as a foul is called on Briggs there for San Diego to kill their first penalty in their last 8 tries. Mijatovic waiting to come out.
Well, it's small strides that they're going to need to go ahead and do for the San Diego Sockers as they try to recover from this first half that really saw them be and play into St. Louis' style of play here. A foul by Cesar Cerda, who has found himself in a couple of situations in this match where he needs to go ahead and calm down, throw some cold water over his head, as well as the rest of the team, in order to go back to what they know how to do, is play that San Diego Stalkers style of play and not play into St. Louis' style.
That's just the second recorded foul on Cerda in the game. It's felt like more. Yeah. Here's Leo the other way. Leo dribbling out of a phone booth, finds his way through the door. Toth to Leo. Pardo allowed 4 goals on 10 shots, 6 of 10 on saves.
And somebody who needs to start coming into this game as well is Tavoy Morgan, who, as we mentioned, has had a great end to his regular season, but hasn't been a factor so far here in the first 2 quarters.
Gonzalez. Well read by Riley Uri, who took the ball away, and then stepping over it was Falsone, but that's still coming up the floor to the rookie Gates. Sent to the middle. Toth is there to pick it up. Before anyone in the audience is just going to cast aspersions at Pardo, remember, Cerda had a turnover that led directly to a goal. Cerda had an unforced play over the wall for a defensive clearance that led to a top-of-the-arc goal that was scored. Soccer's power play kill conceded again. Had a wide-open Amati on the wing. Maybe you could say he could have done better with that. Maybe not, but either way, I think it's fair to say that whatever spark the coaches were hoping for didn't happen. And going back to Toth is a chance to try and turn things around, as is what happened when San Diego trailed in Kansas City in the final weekend of the year, Tony, on March 27th. They were down 7-5 at the half, put in Toth, wound up rallying to win 11-10 in overtime.
And I think the biggest victory for San Diego so far in these first 2 quarters is the fact that they didn't give up a 5th goal in the end of that quarter for sure. And now gives them a chance to make this game a little bit more interesting with 1 goal and cut the deficit in half.
Ruggles pressed and got the steal and then got his hair pulled. It looked like to me that he got his hair pulled. That should be a blue card on St. Louis. This might be a chance for a Phil Salvaggio challenge that could bear the fruit of a blue card penalty. I could see it from here, Tony, that Ruggles got his hair pulled.
Yeah, you see it here as he's battling in between two. Tug on the jersey. Did it have some hair in between it? You could see Ruggles. He's the one that felt it.
No challenge. Wall pass. Paolo kicks it out. Charlie floats it back into Nascimiento's hand. I think that was an opportunity lost there. You could argue about the jiu-jitsu of whether to do such a thing early in the game, but the first Soccer's challenge was on just a common foul attempt, so that could have been a blue card. I think if they reviewed that, would have been a blue card. And the only question is if our crew had any angle from behind the goal that could show the hand to the hair, but I saw it from up here in our north side broadcast location. Pacheco to Morgan. Settles a spinning ball. Tried to re-feed Pacheco, but he had a bracket of defenders around him. And then DeVoy does excellently to get it back out. Gets it back from Leo. Tips it to Morales. Three dangerous attackers on the floor together. Couldn't find a seam in that ambush defense. Now Morales tries to wing one with that lethal left foot. It's over to Leo. Leo bracketed. Pacheco trying to step in as the fourth. Foul call against San Diego. MASLsoccer.com is your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League. All the latest news, leaderboards, highlights, and more. Great articles, content, podcasts, everything. Find it. MASLsoccer.com. Mitchell Carden is battling in. Give me a break. That's an embellishment foul called by Rich Grady.
St. Louis.
Absolutely. That is, if that's Santana, it is. No, it's Gates. Pardon me, it's Gates. That was 1,000% flopperoni and cheese.
And that's part of the mental game that St. Louis is going to start playing to start frustrating us. Watch out, a mistake here.
Turned over as we watch the highlight. I mean, yeah, the highlight was not good for Mr. Gates. That's the second time, actually, I remember in MASL Under Review with our dear friends Ryan Sigich and Phil Ivanko, where they showed Gates doing a very similar jerk the head back like you had contact above the shoulders to try and earn a blue card. It wasn't classy then or now. Stay classy, John Gates. You're in San Diego. 10:48 in the third. We all get it, though. This is the playoffs. Everyone wants to do whatever they can. Any whistle could matter. Like, here's a collision, play on. Fernando Pena said, get up. Mendez 1v3. Finds the runner off the board. It's Tavoy! Oh, what a goal! Morgan with an all-out run from the bench. Mendez with a perfect square pass. And Tavoy makes it 4-3.
San Diego exploiting the spaces that they create here after the advantage is given. Mendez is able to go ahead and pick Morgan as he is coming with full sprint and just lace the ball through, almost entirely through the net. What a powerful shot and a powerful message to send this crowd into a frenzy. 4-3, San Diego get one back.
This is one of the biggest crowds of the year, just looking at it. I mean, it is almost full up. Could be well over 4,000 here tonight. And now, the magic minute for St. Louis. The minute after a San Diego goal. Can San Diego turn it into a run of their own? Milton has space for a moment. He's got his man. It's Raymond! Paolo with the save. Ben thinks it's a handball. Sockers have challenged for a Paolo handball. If the goalkeeper handles outside the crease, it is not just a penalty, it is a blue card shootout for the opponent. The question is, did Paolo, who clearly made the save, was he outside the crease when he did?
San Diego is challenging for a handball outside the penalty area by the goalkeeper. Play is under review.
For the second time tonight, San Diego initiates MASL video review. Let's see if we can listen in to Rich Grady.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Arm or shoulder.
Yep. That's above the t-shirt line. I have that as no handle. I have that as above the armpit. All right, do you have another angle?
Yeah.
Okay. We got a handheld. There we go.
Last chance for San Diego here.
Okay. So I have, you have it, that's all the angles you have, correct? Okay, thank you. All right,
This
so
will be a failed
what we
challenge.
have is there is no contact. The contact is with the legal part of the arm, therefore. Right. All right, so San Diego has the ball out here when we stopped it, yes? Okay. After review, the contact was with the part of the arm that is legal to handle. It's above the t-shirt line. San Diego loses their challenge. San Diego ball midfield.
So the Sockers are out of challenges. And whereas and now Phil is losing his mind. He gets a yellow card. I don't understand why. I think Rich showed us very clearly why.
Misconduct, San Diego coach. Your ball, yes.
And if that's the reasoning for that, you know, it does have a contact exactly where Rich Grady says it is. And by the letter of the law, that is no handball.
One more look. Again, if it hits the yellow, it's good.
Yeah.
Definitely hits the yellow. Absolutely. It really hits his shoulder. It's really not a handball at all. You understand why in the heat of the moment, but and I'd also note that unlike Major League Baseball, where you'll watch Craig Stammen holding out his hand, waiting for his video coordinator to properly review the play. There's no video replay down there. There's no live feed to either bench. They're doing this on guts, instinct, and as you just saw, emotion. Everybody thought it was, but it was not. And once you saw one replay, it was very clear. Here we go the other way. Could this be a big lift for St. Louis? It's a huge save from Paolo, we know that. Toth waits to gobble this one up. Chris just brings a different level of distribution and speed and athleticism to the position. That's why he's the 5-time goalkeeper of the year and was, even with only 9 games played, nominated this year. Paolo, with far more action this season, will likely get the victory. Paolo on the regular season appeared in 22 games, 21 starts.
And something that challenge also did was potentially take that momentum out of the Sockers. We've seen the best build-up play and score from the Sockers since the first quarter. And now things have come down, cooled down as they still trail by a goal. But, I mean, you also trust your players in that moment. If they're calling for a challenge, you have to potentially go with that as they're the closest to it. Paolo doing very well to go ahead and block that shot.
So we talked about that critical game theory decision. When do you use your last challenge in a game? And I think for any challenge in the MASL, what can you gain from the challenge? I think overall you give a C- today as to what happened here. Here's Charlie over to Nick. And the reason is using your challenge, your first challenge that you knew you were going to get right. You knew you were going to get it right, but it was only to create a common foul in the first quarter or in the early second quarter. And because of that, now you're down to your last one. You had 2 chances here in the third quarter to use that challenge flag. One, which I think definitely would have gotten you a blue card on the Ruggles hair pull. That is an illegal play. You can't pull the hair. We've seen that call earlier this year. Here's Tavoy trying to find another equalizer for San Diego. They've had 2 different ones already in this match. But as a result, you don't use it on the one I think you would have gotten a blue card for. You challenge for something which is more valuable, a shootout, but it's not right. And now you're out. With the run is Yuri off the wall to the middle, blocked. Charlie Gonzalez laying out to deny a likely 5th goal for St. Louis. And then, well, we got just a tangle up, and we had another attempt for a St. Louis player to sell a blue or red card foul.
Very well done there by Chadley to get himself into position. Chris Toth was making his way back into the center of his goal, but you know, that's why Chadley's so valuable. He knows how to read those spaces and the game very well. And I mean, talking about gamesmanship, right? St. Louis for sure is trying to get into the head of the San Diego team and invoke another blue card / yellow card situation.
Well, I mean, keep that part in mind. They scored so easily on the first power play. The second one broke over the course of a period, so it's much harder to score on those. But I think they can all see with where some of the emotions are with the high temperature of this building, so to speak. Hey, let's keep it up. Let's see if we can goad him into something else. But now, a couple of guys have taken some artistic license along the way. Here's Pereira. Nick Taleo slams it off the boards, and it'll hop over the low wall and out of play. 6:44 left in the third quarter. It's time for the media timeout. Only one goal so far in this half. Tavoy Morgan from Sebastian Mendez to narrow the lead to 1 for the visiting ambush. We're back to Front Wave Arena after this on Galazzo.
From the Pacific to the desert, our members work hard, dream big, and always fight for what's important. For over 70 years, Front Wave Credit Union has been serving those who serve and helping our members take their financial plans to the next level. Because our value and values run deep, and we'll always fight for you with 100% commitment and no excuses. Open an account with Front Wave Credit Union today, and you could get a $350 bonus when you switch. Front Wave Credit Union. Dream big. We got you.
Not medically necessary. Out of network. Request denied. Referral denied. Claim denied. Denied.
What if insurance, doctors, pharmacies came together and worked as one team?
If you can't get what you want, come with me.
That would be a better idea for healthcare. Kaiser Permanente.
Soccer Signal is your home for in-depth data analysis, comprehensive breakdowns, and exclusive interviews from coaches around the league. Don't miss Soccer Signal every other Thursday on MASL TV. Here's how the Ambush have ambushed the MASL. 3 seasons ago, 4 wins, 17 points. Then 11 wins, 33 points. A late rush to make the playoffs as the 8th seed. This year, up to the 4 seed. Second best defense in the league. Just 117 goals allowed. And Paolo, of course, leading the way with those great stats. 4.53 goals against for the full season. Sockers have played nothing but close games against these guys. 2 one-goal games. And guess what? Here we are. Soccer's a little loose with the ball here, banging it around the yard. Pacheco will settle it down. 3-man wall in front of him. They're trying to feed it deep to Tavoy Morgan. Morgan's got room to wait to accept the pass. Off to Pacheco. Pacheco will shoot. It's blocked by the man in front of him, Esque. Back over to Mitchell Cardenas. Mendez has a goal and an assist. He will always look to go to his left if he can. Charlie, Tavoy, good refeed. Lays it off Pacheco, but it was partially blocked. Well done by Esque to turn it into a rather harmless dribbler into Paolo's grasp.
Pacheco looking for that finesse shot with the inside of the foot to try to curl it around. Tavoy thought that he had a chance to go ahead and receive it and collect it once more and turn and shoot. But it's good to start to see the Sockers start to build that momentum on offense and have more looks.
That pass was a tough one for Sebastian, and as he held off his man, really well done to draw that foul. That was Martinez who drew the whistle.
And it's good for the Sockers to also know the moment, too. If this is how it's being officiated and any sort of contact and to get a foul, you have to be able to get in that position to draw the foul.
There's that left-footed shot. He whistled it just wide of the right post. Kicked out off of Mendez. And that'll be a restart for St. Louis as both teams change personnel. The lights are bright, the fans are loud. It's the Sockers and the Ambush. You can stream it live on MASL Plus TV and replay the game on demand. Clip it, share it, live it again. Make sure to favorite your team and get instant updates on every game. That is MASLplus.tv. Knocked down, great chance potentially. Ozzie Santana, however, had Serta in the way. Serta got it into the corner. Serta had his arm wrapped around him and vice versa. The foul this time went against the rookie.
Yeah, you see Serta getting physical with that ball and knowing also that there's a chance that the opposing team is going to look for the contact, like I was mentioning, look for that foul as well. It's a valuable strategy in these moments. You see St. Louis playing with that sort of gamesmanship. You have to also be able to lean into that as well, as you see Serta getting contacted as well.
Leo uses the low wall to get it all the way down the floor to Pereira. Nick draws that double team. Is he going to fight his way out of it? Paolo's in the way. A foul has been called. It's a free kick for San Diego, basically a corner kick. San Diego should not go fast on this. They're letting their playmakers get in and have a chance to tie this game. Leo, Nick, Morales, Charlie, and the left footer Ruggles, who can show up on the back ends of these set pieces quite often. Pereira bangs it off the wall. And it comes out to Leo, who can hold. Now a cycle play to Morales. Tried to kick it through. Togba did well. Deflected it toward Paolo, who throws it out to the rookie Falsone, who has 2 goals tonight. Ian Ruggles doing battle, doing battle. The kick out to the middle, stolen by Raymond. Eske comes from behind to take it back to St. Louis. 4:11 left on a running clock in the third quarter. Yuri almost put his hand on the ball, but he did not. He went scrambling back to his feet.
The center floor Gophers coming out to play and tripping up in the midfield. But now it's going to be interesting to see how St. Louis is going to respond on there. And we haven't seen those counterattacks so far as Paulo goes up.
Falsone could have been a handball. Sockers can't challenge anyway. They're at the mercy of the gods now. Williamson. Machad. And the Ambush have not scored this quarter. Only 1 goal to Voy Morgan at 4:28. Here's a man coming off the bench looking for one. Raymond got his hip into it to deny Torrealba. Then Leo tries a back heel pass. Nilton through a collision, comes out with it. Nilton still rolling. 1v4 to Serta! Save! Bicycled out by Torrealba. Back to Leo, still in the oven. Trying to cook. Let him cook. Tavoy crashes to steal. Tavoy gets fouled by O'Keefe.
It's these defensive moments where St. Louis is also put into the blender, where they also have some frantic defending but commit fouls in that space. And that's where the Sockers need to ramp it up a little bit more and create the chaos as St. Louis did in the first quarter.
Charlie finds Pacheco. Morgan down low would love the ball. He and Briggs are battling. Tavoy chops it with the right foot, steps it with the bottom of his right foot. And it's controlled and cycled back out to Charlie Gonzalez. About 2.5 left in the third. Mendez stepping to the middle. Briggs got in front of Tavoy. Easy foul to call there. Morgan taking down the big fella. 6th year with the Ambush, Christian Briggs. He's never been a big goal scorer, 20 in his career, so 5 in this playoff is really something. As Toth makes a nice grab. And then his throw out, intercepted by Togba's head. Mendez tried to wheel it across the floor. Now jumping in on a steal is Charlie. It's Charlie Gonzalez. What a save. Rebound off the wall on the try by Pereira. Huge save, Nacimiento.
Nacimiento, Paulo doing very well, just waiting for that shot, looking at the body composure of Charlie, knowing that he can hit it with the left or the right, waits enough, and then on the rebound, Pereira just getting a little bit too ahead of himself and trying to come on back as there's a high pressure by the Sockers.
Under 2 minutes, could it get to a steal? Raymond does dig out a steal. Really hard working tonight and playing great, Ben Raymond. He showed out amazingly in the finals last year as well, especially in Mexico. I think an underrated player, maybe even to his own coaching staff sometimes, Ben Raymond. Morgan leaves it off. Two guys run for the same ball. Leo just misses on the tightest of angles. Skittered it parallel, not perpendicular. Now here comes Serta. Serta crashes and slide tackles his own ball. Ay, caramba! What was that?
We're seeing the offense for the Sockers come to life with more connection and fast pace. They'll need to continue that as Ambush hasn't really had a chance to go on the other side and counterattack themselves. Some of the best offensive moments from San Diego so far.
And yet, thanks to Paulo, still a lead for St. Louis. Final minute of a third quarter that San Diego has used to not only restore order, they're really looking for more. Serta, Morales tried to bring it down with his foot, then his head, then his shin. And it's taken away by the Ambush. And Ozzy Santana, and stolen back by Charlie. Quick move forward, Morales. Morales let the wash go by. Now he's trying to feed in Serta, who is gassed. Serta tries to fight his way through. That's a foul. That's a blue card. No, it's a corner kick. Set piece for San Diego.
And you can see the Sockers being a little bit more patient and looking for the mistake from St. Louis as they dispossess. And here Cerda's trying to go along the boards.
Not impossible to call that. He is last man in there.
Yeah.
It's really not impossible. I have seen that called. I'm not saying it's necessarily the right call. I'm saying I have seen it called. In the playoffs, I think there's a higher standard. Timeout called by Phil Salvaggio. I think this team needs a timeout right now. I see some tired guys on the floor. A lot of adrenaline is rushing. The idea to let old Craig Childs cook up a set piece right here might be a fine idea. Don't forget that Capelli Sport is the official exclusive preferred uniform and apparel provider of the Major Arena Soccer League. Visit MASLsoccer.com, shop the all-new MASL fan store, courtesy of Capelli for the latest MASL and team gear. Let's show you how the playoffs have gone to date, just to get you caught up in case you've joined us midstream. This is the 4th of 5 total series to decide the Ron Newman Cup champion. In the opening round, the 6-seed Empire beat Milwaukee in the opening game, forcing the Wave to their back foot. Milwaukee came back to win a very tight match too, and then a 2-0 knockout game. Milwaukee advanced to the second round. St. Louis and Kansas City played in the first round. St. Louis humbled Kansas City in the opening game at KC 9-4. Kansas City came back for a 6-5 win in St. Louis. They went to the knockout game, 2-0 knockout win for St. Louis. On to the second round, already completed. Milwaukee hosting Baltimore, even though Baltimore was the higher seed because the Blast could not obtain dates at their CQ Arena on the campus of Towson University, so they had to play it all on the road. And the Blast won what would have been their road game anyway, 7-5, but the game that was supposed to be their home game, the second game, they lost that and the mini game to Milwaukee, and Milwaukee prevailed and is waiting for the winner of this. San Diego won match 1 of this series, 6-5. Match 2 is currently 4-3 St. Louis. And again, if the Ambush win for the 4th time in 4 playoff series this year, will go to a knockout game. Into the middle, looking for Ruggles. Well done by Williamson. Restolen, Morales, and blocked by the sprawling Briggs. 2 huge defensive moments from the top 2 defenders of the Ambush back to back. Williamson and Briggs deny an equalizer. Now, Pereira trying to bring it out of the air. Dragging it back, looking for Ruggles. He gets dropped by Togba. Get up, play on, says Rich Grady and the officiating crew. Leo, 2 seconds and 1. SK won't get this shot off. Well, he will, but it's well after the horn. As the third quarter comes to an end. Only 1 goal in the quarter. It was for San Diego. They've scored 1 in each frame. St. Louis has gotten 2 in the first, 2 in the second, none in the third. The 4th awaits the Ron Newman Cup semifinals on Golasso.
At Front Wave Credit Union, we're all in on you. You're not just a number, you're a member. And we're putting $350 behind what we believe in. Get started today. Dream big. We got you.
Please hold. Not medically necessary. Out of network. Request denied. Referral denied. Claim denied. Denied.
What if insurance, doctors, pharmacies came together and worked as one team?
If you can't get what you want, come with me.
That would be a better idea for healthcare. Kaiser Permanente.
Please call Roman 6 grade Whittle.
Parents, if we're on screens too much, what about you?
So let's ditch them and go outside on safari to hang with the coolest, kookiest, tallest animals ever. Whoa! We can hop with them.
Get real close to them.
And every visit helps the animals. But that screen you're on can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd
At the San Diego Zoo Safari Park.
Somebody won the Frisbee toss. Got one of those floppy discs to fly into the barbecue bowl behind them. Meanwhile, all these intrepid kids have to catch all the misses and clear the floor before we're ready for the start of the fourth quarter. Craig Elston, Tony Sanchez, Nick Ferrara down on the floor. You just saw him emceeing the Frisbee toss. This match started with St. Louis scoring 56 seconds in. Luis Morales answered. Marshad Ahmadi answered right back. Let's take a look at the major award nominees for the MASL within this game and for San Diego. The MASL Awards show will be Monday on YouTube and the Colosso Network. Chris Toth nominated for Goalkeeper of the Year. Only 9 games, just enough to qualify. 7-1-1 though, and those two numbers do lead the league for the season. When you go back in years from now, Toth will lead the league in goals against and save percentage. Normally you win Goalkeeper of the Year when you do that. However, as we mentioned, Paolo played 22 games to Chris's 9, and his numbers were good, 4.5, 720. So it's pretty clear how that'll go. I think it's not clear who will win Coach of the Year. Phil Salvaggio, along with St. Louis's Jeff Locker and Baltimore's David Bascombe, each have a good case, but Phil's case is a trophy case. 3rd Supporters Shield in his career, 3rd Supporters Shield in 5 seasons for the San Diego Sockers. Plus, Phil, the all-time winningest coach in MASL history, picked up his 200th win, first MASL coach to win 200 games. He's won 203 now in the regular season. He's 39-18 in his playoff career, PASL and MASL. He's a 6-time champ and wants a 7th. But for San Diego to advance to the Ron Newman Cup Finals in this game, they need to win it. St. Louis can win it and force a 15-minute knockout game to decide the series. Those are the stakes in the fourth. Sockers have turned it over twice in the first 10 seconds, amazingly. Riley Urey out to Robert Williamson as the ambush control, running left to right in white. San Diego in blue running right to left in this fourth and final quarter. If it's tied at the end of 60 minutes, we'll go to sudden death overtime. We'll keep playing sudden death overtime in 10-minute intervals until somebody scores a golden goal. One time in the past 3 seasons, as this is a 3-line penalty against St. Louis and a yellow line free kick for San Diego. One time in the last 3 seasons, the Sockers, when they lost match 1 to Chihuahua, came back, won match 2, but in double overtime. Ruggles, Leo, shot, great block shot by Falsone. Then it's off of Togba's heel, down to Pereira, he shoots, he missed it high. Great beach soccer move there for the beach soccer U.S. captain. He just couldn't get that shot on frame, Tony. He got a huge lucky turnover off Togba's heel.
Yeah, very unfortunate there by Pereira to not get it on the mark, but you start to see the quality in these moments, the clutch factor of the experience that the Sockers have, and this is where they have to, whoa.
Williamson just anti-clutches. That should be top of the arc. Absolutely. Rich Grady making the right call, senior official on the floor. That is top of the arc. Williamson blasted it over. They thought it was a deflection?
Deflection, or they're asking to see if it hits the board?
They're going to take a look, it looks like. Oh, they're going to at least check with their buddies. Kia Depina, Karen De Leon in the box. We've got a College of Cardinals now as we watch again.
Oh, that's
no, not
so
at all.
clear.
Not
So
even
clear.
close. Absolutely it was. They can't hear me. Yeah, top of the arc. Rich is going to make the right call.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be, in a playoff game in the fourth quarter, you can't miss calls like this.
Yeah.
And they're going to make the right call.
It was a hair's length from Williamson, the distance that it cleared the boards for sure. But that gave the Sockers a chance to potentially draw up a play as everybody went over to the bench. So we'll see what this means with Leo on the ball.
Look at this tight wall for St. Louis. Basically almost a four-man wall because Togba's creeping. Morales shoots, kick, save, Nacimiento. Been like a little ninja out there.
Very well positioned there, Nacimiento. This is going to be.
Toth was across the yellow line, but he misfired over the wall.
As you see here, the replay of that set piece coming in. Morales right at Nacimiento. Those moments you're trying to create such power and force to see if the ball will just ricochet from Nacimiento in or create some chaos in the box. So not a bad try there by Morales.
Yeah, he really put his laces through that. And I mean, Paolo has the positional save there, but I mean, real talk, most of us humans watching, that ball would have knocked us over. He made himself into a little brick wall there. It just shows you the strength of his core. Ambush. Next goal's gigantic in this game. Out of play on the missed kick by Torrealba.
And now with the third quarter, that was not necessarily very offensive for Ambush. They didn't exert a lot of energy, which could potentially lead to a fourth quarter where they're just going to come lights out and expend everything that they have and put the Sockers in a precarious position. But the Sockers have to play and build on the momentum that they have.
This one gets knocked down to Nilton. He's going to try and send in Tavoy Morgan. Sockers down 1. Looking for the tie before they can do anything else. Morgan passes to Fernando Pena. Pena lets it goes by.
Yeah, he's had enough of the ball at this tonight.
Seriously. Oh, trying to get it to Charlie, crashing. Charlie sidewall passes it in, cleared by O'Keefe up high in the air. Pacheco will run it down outside the Soccer Script logo. He's being challenged hard from behind by Mershad Amadi. Now that press continues to Toth, who outlets to Nilton with space. Nilton de Andrade has been doing a lot of carrying the ball up the floor. Fired a hard pass that Charlie knocked down. Pacheco's crashing on it now. 12:43 left in the fourth quarter. Charlie squirts. Tavoy tried to drag it down. So did Pacheco. He spun it twice but couldn't lose it. Now Nilton. Now Williamson. Now a blue card. San Diego's Nilton de Andrade draws this penalty, and the Sockers will go on the power play for the first time tonight.
St. Louis, 25, 2 minutes holding, power play.
And you see San Diego building on this play and really just trying to find some last-ditch efforts to keep the control of the ball. Andrade would have had a clear pathway here, and he gets fouled twofold in order to get this play in a power play situation for the Sockers that they have to take advantage of.
Rich called 25, it's 26. Colin O'Keefe for a holding 2-minute blue card penalty. For the first time tonight, the Sockers go on the power play. The Sockers' man advantage begins with 12:32 left. It'll count either to 10:32 on the clock or to a Sockers goal that could tie this game 4-3. Morales crossbar down and out. My goodness, Louise has come so close in this game. Sockers 2 crossbars in the game. Leo in the first minute. And then right there for Morales. Charlie Gonzalez and Nick Pereira, 2 of the best ball handlers in the league. Leo would be a 3rd. Serta's in there with Morgan. It's Leo to Serta with 1:31 on the man advantage. Sockers had 10 power play goals in the regular season, 30% conversion. Charlie over to Leo. Serta now trying to turn Eske, who's out there with Mashad and Williamson, and I believe Santana. And to the other side, Charlie to Pereira. To Serta, 1:04 on the power play. Sockers probing, but no shots yet. Serta since the opening shot. Oh, through the legs of Morgan. Over to Charlie. Now finding Tavoy. In a triple team, out to Leo. There's 48 seconds on the power play. Serta's open. Challenged by Eske. Over to Gonzalez. Wings it. Serta tries the refeed. Pereira holds in the corner. 34 seconds on the power play. Sockers being patient. Charlie's shot saved by Paolo. Serta to Tavoy. His shot off the wall. To Charlie. Another save by Paolo, and he hangs on.
Incredible defensive effort there, and Paulo being the hero twofold as he's going to go ahead and call a timeout. We see it here on the replay. Tavoy trying to find that space, and then the boards get in the way. And Paulo, once again, the positioning, knowing that there's only a certain amount of angles for Charlie to hit that, is exactly where he needs to be.
Thigh save for Nascimento.
Incredible.
I believe he is made of cordwood instead of flesh and bone. He appears to suffer no pain when the ball smashes into him at extreme velocity. Well, let's just set up the Ron Newman Cup Finals for you, depending on scenario. If San Diego wins this game, the Ron Newman Cup Finals will be a full three-game best-of-3 affair. Game 1 will be Wednesday, April 22nd at Milwaukee. Match 2 would be Friday, the 24th, here at Front Wave Arena. And if the series was tied 1-1, they would play a full regular match on Monday, April 27th, to decide the Ron Newman Cup champion. That is the decision of the higher-seeded team, whether they go 2 or 3 games. If St. Louis wins, Milwaukee's the higher-seeded team. Game 1, they haven't decided yet, but it would be either the 24th or the 25th in St. Louis, after which match 2 would be either the 26th or the 27th in Milwaukee. And in that series, if it kicks out that way, the Wave have elected to utilize the knockout game. So the knockout game would be in play for the finals once again. In order for St. Louis to get there, they don't just have to win this game, though, viewers. They also have to come back 15 minutes after the game's over and play another game, which starts at the beginning of the fourth quarter. It's the knockout game. It's a 15-minute game. If it's tied after 15 minutes, just like this one, it goes to a golden goal overtime, and you keep playing golden goal overtime until you get a golden goal. So it really is like starting a game in the beginning of the fourth quarter. So stay tuned. Who knows? All the neutrals want to see the knockout game. The San Diegans do not. They want to see a comeback win, just like we've seen San Diego come back to beat St. Louis 2 out of 2 times this year. Serta finding Leo. There's only 1 second on the power play. Morgan tried to go up in the air for a fancy chest and scissor kick thing, and it didn't work. And here's O'Keefe out of the box. Power play is over. Even strength. O'Keefe to the right foot. He scores! Out of the box, into the net, and maybe sending his team into the knockout game. Colin O'Keefe.
St. Louis did very well knowing that it was coming down to the end of that power play, trying to get and regain possession of the ball, and O'Keefe just all gas, no brakes on that play, knowing that he has the fast break at hand, is able to counterattack and finish and put 2 over the 3 of the Sockers. 5-3, 5-3. Ambush are leading.
4:39 that time a goal. Sockers have been shut out for the last 15 minutes of this match, and now they need 2 goals just to force a tie. The Ambush deserve it so far, but what do they have for the final 10 minutes? Did they win the first 50 minutes? Absolutely.
And the biggest victory there, not just the goal, but to make sure that the Sockers didn't capitalize on that. Ouch, so about that.
That's a foul on Togba, who's lost his headband. I wonder if it broke. Literally. Out there without the headband. He's worn it for seasons. That one's deflected out of play. It's another restart for San Diego from the wall. Now needing a quick one just to get the pressure back on. The stove turns down to medium heat for St. Louis here with a 2-goal lead in the 4th quarter. Ruggles back heels to Charlie, who says, Rich, get out of the way. Curver looking for Pereira. Now Ruggles in the middle. He gets brought down. No harm, no foul. So Mendes' shot is blocked by Williamson all the way out of bounds.
Just whistles aplenty. We'll see the replay here as there's an incredible amount of bodies inside the box. Pereira looking for the scorpion back heel.
On Briggs. Yeah, really could have, but of course there's no challenge for San Diego anymore. So every missed call is just going to be that. There'll be no recompense. Ruggles from Gonzalez. Pereira. Ruggles. Charlie on the dance. Pereira trying to get it back to Charlie. Off the wall. Just missing Ruggles. Second chance. Too high from Mendes. And it skips out of play.
You see the Sockers trying to build those plays off of Charlie, off of Pereira. Somebody taking a shot knowing that you have to place it correctly, exactly where it needs to, or else Paulo is going to go ahead and save that and potentially have a counterattack on the other side.
I haven't seen a lot of Pee Wee in the last couple of quarters. He's out there right now. Won the ball and he comes right back off. Had like a 30-second shift, if that. Here's Nilton with some space. Nilton, Day, Andrade off the wall. Ruggles tries to reset the middle. Yuri comes the other way. Yuri, past Pacheco, sidewalls to himself. Nilton takes it. Ruggles, Nilton on the run. 8.5. Foul called against O'Keefe.
Nilton with some of the best outbursts of speed that we've seen so far on both sides, getting that shot off, but then coming back all the way and defending that, regaining possession of the ball. And now the Sockers on top of it once again.
It was 4-2 ambush at the half. The second half has been 1-1, and that's plenty good for St. Louis. Serta has had these hero moments down the stretch for San Diego. Morgan the step over, the casual push by Briggs, and another foul call. One of these restarts, if San Diego can't find it, they're not going to come back. They got to do it.
You have to be a little bit more clinical on the set pieces. You've seen Morales hit woodwork. You've seen these plays be able to be constructed correctly, but it's the quote-unquote easy part to finish as they build here.
It's the long shot outside by Gonzalez, but then Morales finds Ruggles, who finds Leo, who can't put it down. It was a great thought. There's 8:01 left in this match.
Great pass right here by Morales to find Ruggles. Ruggles one times it into Leo, and then Leo unable to get the right angle. But when you're upside down against gravity, it's difficult.
Leo is so talented. He is 37. Like maybe 6 years ago, he might have been able to make that play. That's, just imagine trying to throw yourself exactly parallel to the earth while kicking.
We've seen the only chance from St. Louis really in 2 quarters become a goal by O'Keefe, and we'll see if they're able to once again capitalize. If they want to go ahead and maybe save some energy for a potential knockout game, they'll want to go ahead and
Oh, there's a turnover. That could have been the one that made you save some energy. But Serta blocked it out of bounds, and we get to the last timeout of the fourth quarter. Timeout call. When we come back, a set piece for St. Louis. A 2-goal lead for the visitors from Missouri, who are hoping to force a knockout game tonight. Stay tuned. Find out what happens on Golasso.
From the Pacific to the desert, our members work hard, dream big, and always fight for what's important. For over 70 years, Front Wave Credit Union has been serving those who serve and helping our members build equity and refinance with confidence. Invest in your future with a commercial real estate loan. From residential investment properties to industrial real estate, we've got you covered with 100% commitment and no excuses. Front Wave Credit Union. Dream big. We got you.
Parents, if we're on screens too much, what about you?
So let's ditch them and go outside on safari to hang with the coolest, kookiest, tallest animals ever. Whoa! We can hop with them,
Get real close to them.
and every visit helps the animals. But that screen you're on can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd
At the San Diego Zoo Safari Park.
Front Wave Arena, where Paolo Nascimento is 11 for 14 on saves tonight, a .786 save percentage. On the other side, Chris Toth has allowed just 1 goal since coming in at the half. St. Louis had a chance for a second, still does, as it's kicked back wide, and then shot high. It was Almeida after Torrealba, who both missed the net. 7 guys on the field for St. Louis. At one moment, Morgan scores! Doesn't matter. Tavoy's got the brace to draw him within 1. An absolute laser from the man from Spanish Town, Jamaica.
Morgan coming back with the shot and placing it on the side netting with that left foot. Nothing Paulo can do now. That's a thunderous response here, as I do believe Paulo also recognized that there was extra men in the field.
St. Louis is challenging for potential too many men.
I thought there were
St.
too many
Louis
men on
is challenging
St. Louis,
for potential
but
too
maybe
many
on
men.
San
The
Diego
play is under
too.
review.
Well, this could decide the game if this goal's taken off with 7:12 left. Let's take a look.
Okay, we need a wide
MASL
angle.
Video review.
Can we go for behind the
I
goal?
mean,
When Toth puts the ball into play.
St. Louis have have everyone on the field.
Correct.
But maybe it was St.
Yes.
Louis too, or San Diego too.
Okay, we don't have anything here.
Well, everyone's 5v5 here. We know that. The ball misses. It's kicked out.
All right, keep going. It's going to be after the restart. The ball's going to go out here, and then just keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. I'm going to give him the ball. Okay. Okay, 1, 2.
That doesn't help.
Right. I got 3. I don't have anything else. Yeah. Game angle, please. Yep. Okay, go back, go back, go back. Okay. Freeze it right here.
1, 2, 3,
when I give him the ball.
5, right there.
And let's get a count.
For St. Louis.
Okay, okay, freeze it right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there's 6 guys on the floor. Okay, go ahead and roll it.
What you didn't see was the guys coming out the far bench. Yeah.
But he's already off though, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I don't have anything.
This will be unsuccessful.
There's 5. Yeah, go ahead and run it. Yeah, just keep going, just in case. Yep.
Stuff is happening, by the way, on the field
All
right
right, we're
now,
good. Thank
involving
you.
the third and fourth officials. An argument. Robert
Okay,
Williamson.
so
Here we
we're
go.
good. They lose their challenge. Goal's good, right?
Yeah.
No. After review, there is no too many men penalty. The goal is good. St. Louis loses their challenge.
7:48 time of goal. Serta gets the assist on Tavoy Morgan's second of the night. Fourth point of the series. And it is a one-goal game in this crowd of 3,621 at Front Wave Arena. Rally towels rolling. Sockers want to know why St. Louis is allowed to huddle up when they're ready to restart play.
Yeah, you see Cárdenas frantically coming over to Fernando Peña.
Talk about too many men on the field. It was like the whole team was on the field. I honestly think, and maybe I'm wrong, and maybe if there was no good replay because you couldn't see the back door for either side. So if St. Louis thought something happened, I get it. But I'm telling you, I thought St. Louis had too many men on the field too.
I almost thought Paulo was calling for his own too many men on the field. As watch out here.
Pee-wee tried to flick it over Williamson, but it hit that big head of hair and stopped right there. Under 7 minutes to go. 5-4 San Diego. The temperature turned back up on the visitors. Friday's match one was a 6-5 San Diego win. They would love to match their scoreline from Friday. Raymond crashing in to try and head the ball away from Colin O'Keefe, who scored what's now the go-ahead goal in this match for St. Louis. What a critical counterattack solo effort it was by that young man. Pacheco doing battle, look out! Amati over the top of Toth, who I think got hit in the head and is down.
Yeah, talk about crashing here. Both players coming into this moment with a collision as Chris Toth gets the worst of it. I think it was him landing on Toth. Yeah.
Put his head, I'm not saying on purpose, but put his arm through the back of Chris Toth's head there as he fell. Pretty clear, honestly. Not to say that that's necessarily, and every team's out of challenges as well, but there you see that elbow almost even coming in through the back of Chris Toth's head. Oh, this is playoff arena soccer, folks.
As physical as it gets. I mean, you saw a couple of moments before Raymond coming in with his full inertia and his head first thing to try to clear the ball. It means so much to a lot of these players.
Got to keep our eyes on Toth. He looks a little groggy to me. Maybe not. Charlie spins one that Pereira's going to find, and it's warded off by Paolo's leg on the near post. Nick's had a lot of those close chaos bangers. Here's a ball that deflected off of Esque. St. Louis wants to run off this. Mijatovic, Almeida trying to cut it away from him, but Toth is there to establish control. Under 6 minutes to play. Long time in this game. Pereira tried for the shot. Morales getting his jersey tugged. Was able to maintain possession for San Diego. It's Charlie. Charlie Gonzalez finding that right foot seam for just a second he did, but then good double team by Ozzy Santana to deny the shot opportunity. Mijatovic thought about putting his big left boot through it. Thought better. Morales can shoot with either foot. Dangerous 1v1 attacker trying to get his chance on Togba here. Togba stays with him. It's Mijatovic now on the other side. Stepping on pressure there was Santana. Over to Nilton off the bench. De Andrade. He's had a lot of movement, but no shots really tonight. Can he get one good one when it counts the most? To Charlie, you know he can. He's a clutch player. But then, a steal. Serta digs it back out. Nilton, space, knocked down, nothing. Paolo's got the ball.
Really good challenge there to get in front of Andrade, and really a chance for Andrade to get a good look in front of net. And you're seeing St. Louis give the space to the Sockers and respect that. But you know that in that moment, they're looking to counterattack and potentially score another goal and try to seal this match.
Charlie read the ball along the wall perfectly, but then just gave it to a dangerous space, put his team into some tough trigonometry that is broken up in the equation by St. Louis for a moment, but Torrealba couldn't get a shot away. 4 minutes left to play, 56 done. Tavoy hits a fan over the short wall. It'll be St. Louis ball. Sockers need one more to forge a tie. If it's tied at the end of regulation, it goes to golden goal overtime. Mijatovic in a pitched battle with the rookie Falsoni. It's given away. It's Yuri. Sliding block by Mijatovic. That could have been it right there. Raymond Charlie. Sockers just down one. Mashad steals, and a tug of the jersey leads to a foul. Charlie needed to come off anyway. 3:33. 2 threes and then a 5 and a 4 up on the board for St. Louis 5, San Diego 4. Falsone has 2 goals in this game. Got the first one in the opening minute. Mendez blocked by Falsone as attempt to clear. Back to the ambush. Now they can play the time game. San Diego needs to start thinking about a 6th attacker. In fact, Drew Ruggles already has, and here's the timeout. Ruggles has the 6th attacker jersey on. Chris Toth calls timeout, and with 3:07 left in the 4th quarter, the Sockers will empty their net in lieu of a 6th attacker.
There is no room for error for any of the players on the floor for either team. Any sort of mistake is going to be a little more complicated at the end of it. Both teams have to be error-free, but also be able to capitalize on the other side and connect with either a game-sealing goal or a game-tying goal for the Sockers. And if the Sockers score, there's a chance too that they can get out of this in regulation with the victory, but you got to get that first one first.
Well, San Diego's really tightened things up in the second half. The first half, a lot more erratic. You know, no one's fault entirely. Serta probably, as the captain, would hold his arm up if the team loses this game and say, I lost you this game. I kicked one over the wall for a restart that was scored. I made a giveaway that led to a direct goal in front of my net. You know, Boris would probably say, hey, I could have knocked out one of those. I could have grabbed one of those. I had some rebounds in my crease. You know, that's how veterans do it. They step up for one another. They take responsibility. They take the pressure off some of the more anxious players. This is a veteran team, the San Diego Sockers. It's a veteran team that has enough memory of previous knockout game failures to haunt Los Pesadillas. Or is it Las Pesadillas?
Las Pesadillas.
That's what I figured, but I just got Las Pesadillas. That's the nightmares, folks. That's the nightmares. Okay, so interesting. Because they're deep in their zone, they did not start in 6th attacker, knowing St. Louis might press. Here's Chris Toth getting as close as he can. And now with 2:54 to play, he comes off and Ruggles comes on. The Western goal is empty. The Sockers want to fill the Eastern goal with that yellow miter soccer ball. Ruggles is the 6th attacker in the orange off-color jersey. Good job by St. Louis stepping up their pressure into offensive midfield. The Sockers want to get it down low. It's Morales. He shoots, kick save once again. You can shoot from beyond the yellow line. Riley Uri trying to find room, and he cannot. It's stolen by Leo. 2:24 to play in the match. Charlie Gonzalez El Maestro, he's orchestrating. Leo. Sockers want to find a seam somewhere. So many dangerous scorers out there. Pereira, Morgan, and Morales want to get on the back end of one. Nick can always facilitate with assists as well. All-time assist leader in this league. 2 minutes. Pereira. Back heels to Ruggles, who stepped over to maintain possession. Charlie. Pereira. Back to Gonzalez. Back to Leo. Sockers have scored in the final minute in a 6th attacker situation this season. They did it against Tacoma. Leo. 90 seconds remain in this match. St. Louis with a win will go to the knockout game. Nick Pereira thought there was a man who wasn't there, and he gave the ball away. And now Chris Toth has to come out, and Ruggles has to go back to the bench. And now Cimiento will call timeout. I don't know what happened there, Tony. All of a sudden, Nick just seemingly out of nowhere dribbled the ball to Paolo.
Yeah, there clearly was an idea and an intent there, but nobody to be on the other side for Nick Pereira. And again, it's those mistakes that we were talking about right before. You just cannot commit, and this could potentially cost the Sockers this matchup here. Yeah.
He either thought Tavoy was crashing, or maybe just based on that movement, he thought he could jump on his own sidewall pass, but it got way out in front of him. One way or the other, this could be the break that sends St. Louis to the knockout game, because now they've got the ball in Paolo's hands. What does this mean? Jeff Locker's drawing up a defensive diagram, and really the ambush can do it one of two ways. The way you really want to do it is you want to possess the ball. You want to tiki-taka, move it around, play some rondo, and just bleed off the final 80 seconds of this game and go to the knockout game. The other way you can do it, which a lot of teams do, is just get the ball as deep as possible, throw one out to the corner, hope that one of your bigger players, a Briggs or perhaps a Falsone, somebody can hold the ball, rag some time, and get this thing under a minute before San Diego gets the ball back. Remember, Toth has to stay in. So it's 5v5. There's no chance for a quick turnaround to get to Ruggles. Toth is going to have to run the length of the field, half of it, to spring Drew again. So a lot of things right now with 77 seconds left in St. Louis's favor.
And for San Diego, if you overcommit on any sort of attack or any sort of defensive play, that can spell a situation here. Toth coming out.
Toth is the one who comes out and wins the ball. Draws a foul in doing so and gets his team out. Wow, that was a great athletic play by Chris Toth. That was huge. 70 seconds. Sockers back on 6 attackers. Tavoy in the middle with a brace. Out to Morales, who kicks it all the way out. Toth has to run back in net.
Missed opportunity, a second missed opportunity from that area. As now St. Louis.
Minute 60 is live at Front Wave Arena. 5-4 St. Louis. The ambush looking to force the knockout game. They'll do it unless they concede here. Leo under pressure, still under pressure. Well done by Machad. There's 42 seconds and San Diego's at midfield. They need late Sockers magic now. Pereira, the corner is Morales. Luis Morales back to Leo. Leo on a hopping ball is fouled. Did well to sell it, and that sends a set piece forward from right wing. This is San Diego's best chance, is on some sort of good set piece. 32.4. The knockout game in the back room. Yawns, stretches,
4 fouls.
Puts on its feet. If it's 4 fouls against a St. Louis player, the Sockers will get a 6v4 man advantage right now. It is on O'Keefe.
4 foul penalty, St. Louis, number 26. 4 fouls and a half. 2-minute penalty, power play.
Now what that does here on a set piece, it really gives valuable space for the San Diego Sockers to really draw something up, something special here with 32 seconds left in this match. Super power play. Ruggles stays out there.
Charlie does not, interestingly enough. He might be out of breath, out of gas. Pereira, Leo, Tavoy, Morales, who's missed 2-3 times in this quarter, and Serta. Can Luis stay composed if the ball comes to his feet? They just started in the middle. It's Serta to Ruggles. There's 30 seconds left in this game. 6v4 is nice, but you got to shoot, and Pereira will, and he misses everything. Toth screams, Drew, get off, I'll get on. But this should do it for St. Louis. They should be able to see out these 24 seconds with the ball in Paulo's hands. He'll throw it high in the air. Esque gets a touch on it, but it is back to San Diego. 18 seconds. This is the last chance right now as Ruggles comes back. 14 seconds. It's Leonardo de Oliveira. He scores! He scores! He scores! His name is Leonardo de Oliveira! Tie game at 5! Are you kidding me? Front Wave Arena!
Leonardo, el brasileño, hermano, doing it at the death with 10 seconds, betting on himself, opening up the space towards the right, dribbles inside, sets himself up. What a beautiful shot inside of the side netting. Incredible by the Brazilian.
With 10.2 seconds left. What now? What now?
Players under review for a possible foul prior to the scoring of the goal.
Okay, this is the officials choosing to do a review.
They want a foul before the goal. So can we back it up
Saying
to the distribution where number 14 St. Louis
Who is
is
asking? Yeah, you just heard Rich say they asked for a foul.
Oh boy.
On Cardenas?
Yeah, I got nothing. I got nothing there.
Okay.
Asking for Cardenas, but
Yeah,
the fact that there is a review here
That's a
upon
good goal.
request is
So
interesting as
Serta
Renee.
should get that assist.
After review, good goal, no foul.
They have not awarded an assist yet. I think Serta should get an assist. Let's rewatch that back to see this incredible play one more time as the Sockers now tell the knockout game to go put its blinders back on and listen to Spotify. They want to keep this thing going and win it themselves. 10.2 seconds remain on the clock. Leo with his second fourth quarter goal of this series. Second goal of the series.
What a moment. That's why he's so special. It's just incredible what Leonardo de Oliveira is able to do in tight spaces, controlling the ball, really being that X factor for the San Diego Sockers.
And I do believe, I have to look it up to be sure. Hang on. This is, let's not count any chickens. 6 seconds remain in this game. 3, 2, long shot outside, 1. We're going overtime. Golden goal overtime. Toth gets kicked by Esque. Not intentionally, but Toth gets kicked by Esque at the end of the match. The second time Toth takes one to the head in the final minutes of the match.
And we'll see if San Diego's asked the officials to review something here in this moment. And you see him shaking up here for a second time. And, you know, hopefully, you know, it's part of the play, it's part of the intensity, part of the last 2 seconds.
What an unbelievable game this is. Paul Savage out to check on his guy, Chris Toth. This game has gone to overtime. 60 minutes were not enough, thanks to the latest of heroics. Leonardo de Oliveira officially scoring at 14:50 of the fourth quarter. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from this one so far. This is fourth quarter, both goals, starting with O'Keefe, who did well to move Cardenas. He managed to deke Cardenas a step to his right, free open that right foot, and score for 5-3. We thought this would be the winning goal until a few seconds ago. Tavoy Morgan, though, got one back critically on an insanely good shot. I mean, look at the quality of these shots to beat Paolo. That's what it takes to beat the likely goalkeeper of the year. And then the equalizer, putting everything on black 11 and having the roulette wheel show up and getting paid off 36-1 right there is Leo. One of the great players, I still will say throughout my life, one of the most underrated players in the history of this sport, Leonardo de Oliveira. Just the nature of being a lesser covered sport and being a player who does so many things other than just turn, shoot, score, turn, shoot, score. I think he's the most well-balanced guy. He steals the most, he repossesses the most, he dribbles out of double teams the most, and when you need it, he's like Visa, he's everywhere you want to be.
I mean, Leonardo, like, he has the IQ, he's a 5-tool, and he's able to do amazing plays, magic even intentionally, but there's sometimes these moments where he goes into an ultra instinct mode and he just lets the body take over, and that was a moment where, by the book, you're not supposed to corner yourself and go a little bit more on the right side, but that's exactly what he does. When you put yourself in that position, are you supposed to lay it off? No, he chooses to shoot, and he places it exactly in the side netting, and it's almost as equal to a great shot to what Tavoy Morgan did a couple of moments ago. That's what it takes to be, like you said, Paulo Nascimento. But for the Sockers, it's been an exciting, but they've expended a lot of energy here in the fourth quarter for sure.
Well, both teams have. Both teams have. And now the situation is as such. If San Diego scores the 6th goal in this game, 6-5 will be the final score for the 2nd straight time in this series. If San Diego gets that 6th goal, they move on to the Ron Newman Cup Finals. If St. Louis scores that 6th goal, we're not done here tonight. We'll take a 15-minute break and we'll play another quarter to decide the series. St. Louis will run left to right again. The Sockers will run right to left again. Golden goal overtime is underway. It's a 10-minute period. Each team gets a review back, which seems important in this game. Quick restart, San Diego. Mendez to Serta with Morgan. Lost it out in front of him. Taken away by Martinez of St. Louis. Headed back by Leo. Leo, Serta, Morgan. Morgan. Mendez trying to feed. Morgan gets it back. It's blocked. Williamson saves the season for now. Leo. Morgan spinning. Shooting. Saved by Williamson. Another blocked shot. Mendez gets it back to Serta. Sockers putting on the pressure here. Cardenas to Morgan, who's looking for that hat trick in his 2nd overtime game-winning goal of the season. Opening minute of GG overtime. Serta and Pereira. The wily vet back out on the floor. Pereira wants to find a seam. Morales. Charlie. Pereira. Charlie! Sliding block by Yuri, who celebrates his outstanding defensive effort.
You're seeing some great off the ball movement by the Sockers, but equally great off the ball is the defensive positioning and shape by St. Louis, who know they cannot commit a single error or the season is over for them.
Sockers outshot St. Louis in the 2nd half, 18-5. 9-2 in one quarter, 9-3 in the other. But it just takes one. And could this be the one? It's Yuri on the steal. It's Yuri on the run. It's Torrealba open, and it's blocked by Charlie and Toth to keep the match alive. Now spread out is St. Louis. But Pereira has nowhere to go and no one with him. The Sockers are crying for 6 fouls, and Rich Grady's gonna review it.
Play is under review for possible handball outside the penalty area.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's going to be for that shot that was blocked by Chudley and Toth.
Well, so this is another one that St. Louis asked for. Let's take a look. Of course, if it was a handball.
We need to see the save by Chris Toth.
Let's take a look.
No,
it was inside. No.
Oh, you have a different angle?
Different angle should show the same thing.
No. He's inside when it comes up and hits his arm.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter anyway. That's
angle?
a natural action.
I do believe there was a couple Sockers asking for that 6-man on the review.
One more time, you have the other angle. Yeah, that one. Just freeze it. Let's go frame by frame. Once he makes the foot save. Right there. Perfect. He's inside. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, he's inside.
So who had the ball when we stopped? Who had the ball when we stopped? Let's go back and look.
Nobody knows. They're going to go back and look.
I mean, it's a frantic back and
Could you run it
forth.
through and just show us who has the ball, please, when we stop play?
This could have been the game winner for Torrealba right there. 100%. What a moment by Charlie and Tove.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, back up. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, go ahead.
Now they're looking at this.
Yeah, they're counting.
Right there. Okay, good. Thank you.
I think they're all right. I think they're okay.
After review, there was no handball by the San Diego goalkeeper. Contact was inside the penalty area. St. Louis ball in front of the San Diego bench.
The ambush had the ball when the whistle sounded for the review, so the ambush get the ball back. 8:04 in this first golden goal overtime period.
Ooh, awkward bounce there.
Yeah, it came off of the edge of the boards. Now Togba trying to beat Milton down the floor. Foul called on De Andrade. Just outside the yellow line for this restart for St. Louis.
We'll see if St. Louis is able to also construct a play. As watch out here. Ooh.
Almost. Cape Verde and Brazil connection right there, possibly. Portuguese connection is what you could call that.
Os Português.
Toth so strong with his hands, very rarely spills. Lobs it, Williamson, knocked down by Nilton. On the run is Leo, our fourth quarter hero, Leonardo de Oliveira. Back to Serta. Nilton, thought he had a triangle pass and gave it away. Ambush trying to go on a run. To Amati. Mershad Amati in the corner. Out to Williamson, 7 minutes left in this overtime. Amati shoots, and there's Toth.
You're starting to see the toll that this game has taken on the players, right?
Yes.
In those moments, there's enough time to try to dribble around, but it's because of those heavy legs that you just fancy yourself, but there's not a lot of power in there as well. Toth looking for the corner.
He finds his longtime friend, Nick Pereira. Nick, how did he keep that for the second? He's at size 13 feet. Cesar Serta back to Toth. Look at the crashing high pressure by St. Louis. They're really selling out for a turnover here. If San Diego could get something going, but Pereira tried for a cheeky pass. Serta tracks it down. Pereira and Ruggles are 2v2. Ruggles says, use the wall. Pereira says, I'm crashing in, baby. He leaves it out, Mendez. Leo, a little disorganized. Leo, 6 minutes left in overtime. Leo, left-footed, save Paolo. Rebound comes out to Pereira. He cleans it back to Mendez. Pacheco and Ruggles. Yet another overtime game for this Sockers team. Mendez. Nice jump. A good steal there for Martinez. But he could do nothing with it. Charlie was out quick. Both teams making changes. Tavoy back out for Pereira. Almost halfway through this overtime. Charlie lobbing Tavoy. Morgan blocked by Eske. Eske really playing defender now. Morales came spinning in to try and win it back. Torrealba left it. SK couldn't get there. Mijatovic drilled it off SK and out of bounds.
Yeah, dangerous clearance there because that ball could have definitely bounced back. But fortunately for the Sockers, it went out of play. And you can tell both of these teams playing very carefully.
Ozzy has had success on steals like this. He came crashing in. He stole it from Serta earlier. Serta. Akers. Working up the left wall. The captain. Back to Morales. Serta scored the Sockers' last golden goal. That was to win the Shield on March 29th against Kansas City. On a pass from Leo. Charlie to Tavoy, who's looked so strong. Tavoy charging. Tavoy spinning. Leaned into by Briggs. Just chops one into the middle, hoping it would get somewhere. Serta and Mijatovic then just kind of tumble into a pile, and they do not get the ball, but Serta so strong. Serta took one in the side. He has to come off. Serta got nailed there. There was no whistle. He is down in a heap on the bench for San Diego. I think he maybe got hit in the solar plexus or something. He immediately was down. He is in pain on the bench. The Sockers captain. Meanwhile, play continues. De Andrade tries to feed himself in the corner, shoots it off, couldn't hit the head of Pereira. Charlie with a ball fake. Charlie tried to spit it into Nick, and it was broken up, and now the counter is on again, and still on. Pacheco sold out for a steal, didn't get it. It's Yuri. Now Cardenas gets it back. Now Toth is in danger. Just got it away. Charlie got it away. Paolo had to hustle all the way out. Barely avoided hitting the roof on that. Falsone battling Mitchell Cardenas for possession in the corner. There's under 3.5 minutes left in this overtime period. Yuri and the ambush have the better of it. Yuri with a spin, with a man in the middle. Toth got a touch for a second, and then Cardenas, look out. Charlie just can spin one. Milton, can he get on it? Milton got outrun to the ball by Mashad, running hard.
It's incredible how both of these teams still have the energy for these plays. High octane, no foul. Ooh, this is going to be called a foul on Raymond for that shoulder tackle.
Psych.
Ole.
2:58 in golden goal before we re-rack it. Togba. Jumping, looking for a steal was Mijatovic. Sockers and ambush are doing some gambly plays. Eskang. Williamson misfires.
Cerda coming back on.
That's great news for San Diego. The warrior from Saltillo. Toth to Morgan, trying to chest it in the air. He headed it to himself. A foul was called against St. Louis.
Leo directing traffic now.
To Mendez. He's got an OT game-winning goal this year. Leo dropped. No card. Set piece coming up.
Yeah, I was asking for it, thinking that that was the last man who brought him down. As you see, everything coming into play right there. Hands, legs, knees. Oh. Set piece situation where Nick Pereira is a weapon, but everybody else on the Sockers is for sure. Yep.
Absolutely.
Piénsela, think about it.
5-5, 2:32 in golden goal overtime. Sockers have played some double overtime games in their playoff history. Quite famously, probably the most famous one, 2018-19 season, the first round, Sockers and Tacoma. And it wound up being a 2-game sweep for San Diego against Chris Toth and Nick Pereira and the Tacoma Stars at that time. But at that time, it took double overtime to get to a game-winning goal, which was scored quite famously by Brandon Escoto, dribbling through 4 guys, feeding it to Eddie Velez, who knocked it in. Landon Donovan's San Diego Soccer's team went on to the semifinals, where they lost in 1 game to Chihuahua, also in sudden death overtime. That was back before the league went to full 3-game series in the whole playoffs. They used to do it just in the first round. So, yeah, there's so many moments of soccer's lore along the way. Another double overtime game I mentioned was the 2022-23 semifinals against Chihuahua, where San Diego lost to the Savage in Mexico, came back and needed double overtime for a Gabriel Costa golden goal. But then the Savage came back out after the Sockers had earned that knockout game. The Savage won it. Here's Serda, not blocked by Togba, out of bounds.
Yeah, he had a clear lane right there. Serda is going to want that one back. Leaned a little bit too much back into it.
Sure did.
St. Louis is going to have a chance of their own.
Paolo just kicks it to his counterpart. 2:20 in OT. Again, the idea of playing another game, it's a fascinating thing. After you play overtime.
Yeah. It's a game, a whole game in and of itself right here.
De Andrade. And you just wonder who has what left if needed. That's why San Diego wants to win right now, baby. That's what we told you in the very opening minute of this broadcast. The Sockers do not want that game. They want to win this game. Morgan just punches it into the corner, hoping Nilton can track it down. Machad's there as well, and Nilton fouled him.
Very good defensive there by St. Louis, reading the play, reading the angle and the path of that pass in order to make sure Andrade didn't collect it.
Paolo behind his yellow line, sends it to Falsone. Now the ambush have it with 1:38 left. A little ticky-tack foul called on Leo. Falsone, I think, literally gave a little nod like, thanks for the whistle. He made a whistle pantomime. Like, thank you. I don't think he expected that whistle to come.
Yeah. Especially in these moments, such intense timing. 1:38 left in overtime.
Williamson backs it up to Santana. And he accelerates in the shot. Oh, wow. Wow. Foul called on Mendez there. What a moment for St. Louis. Feels like a soft call with 91 seconds left in golden goal overtime, but this is not hockey, it's indoor soccer.
Yeah, you saw Williamson bump into Mendez and potentially go that in, and yeah, timeout. They'll think about it now.
Let's take another look. I guess.
The arm extension, potentially. Didn't need the arm extension.
Mostly hips him off the ball, but I think when his arm came out, that's probably when the whistle sounded. So, Phil Salvaggio. He's got everyone. He looks like he's very much in command right now. Brought everybody in, said this is what we're going to do. Meanwhile, athletic trainer Paul Savage making sure everyone's got the hydration they need to excel in these moments.
Get that IV ready for this post-match, however it goes, to rehydrate these players for sure. But the best thing to do right now is make sure that you are not the team that is committing the fatal error. Just play smart and play cleanly too, because in these moments it's very easy to give these little fouls, and slowly St. Louis has been getting and creeping closer with each set piece.
Indeed. Now they've got a real look at one here from the left wing. The Sockers have some guys who are just double shifting nonstop, sort of top of that list. Leo right next to him. It's Briggs. Just bangs it into Mendez, who uses the high glass. Serda gets a head on it over Esque. Mendez is trying to race down the floor. Paolo gets it away. Good effort. back to Cardenas. He's just going to let this get to Chris Toth. Smart play. Minute 12. Serta to Nick. Nick Pereira turns, he shoots, he scores! He scores! Nick Pereira has sent the Sockers to the Ron Newman Cup Finals! Nicky P!
The local hero, Nick Pereira, as he likes it, being fed by Cesar Cerda. He was asking for that ball, knowing he would have the ball at the bottom of his foot. Turn left, turn right. Either way, he gets behind the defender and shoots. Con la derecha, very well defended, but even better in that shot. The San Diego native sending San Diego to the Ron Newman Cup Final.
It's his first MASL playoff series victory. And for Chris Toth and Nick Pereira, two guys who have played against the Sockers and lost to the Sockers so many times, those hugs, that emotion is real. So are the devastated looks on the face of one of the great stories of this year in the Major Arena Soccer League, the St. Louis Ambush. Boy, did they give the Sockers everything they could possibly have given, and then maybe a little bit more. I'm thinking about Torre Alba springing open and having a chance, and just that instant for the ball to settle. Charlie Gonzalez and Chris Toth come in to create a wall. They search for a handball, don't find it. Those little moments in this game that turn into another Sockers overtime win. Did we name the show Soccer's Overtime?
I did. I think we did.
Because all they do is win in overtime. So seems like it was a good name for a show. Okay, Nick Ferrara is down on the floor, and as soon as the handshakes are done, I assume he's going to talk to Mr. Nick Pereira about his series-winning goal. What a moment, what a game, what an advert for the sport of arena soccer on CBS Sports Golazo Network.
And I mean, this sport is beautiful, but sometimes it is cruel, and giving all the kudos, all of the praise for a fantastic season for the St. Louis Ambush, who literally put everything in it, everything on the line. A great performance defensively, offensively, but these San Diego Sockers have been doing this exact thing in the season, getting the victories when they need them in the clutch moments, and no one more clutch than Nick Pereira.
Two Nicks downstairs, two Nicks and a mic.
Tell me where, right here? Our MASL player of the game, Nick Pereira. It took as many goals tonight to get it done as the same amount of languages that you speak. 6. Pretty epic performance for you. Not a good habit, you would think, to be down by 2 and trail with these overtime victories, but the reality is none count more than this one that just happened right here. Talk about the motivation to come back. A 2-point deficit for the majority of the contest here tonight, but you end up on top with an amazing assist and, of course, the walk-off victory with the goal.
Yeah, first things first. Hey, we'll see you guys on Friday. We'll see you on Friday, everybody. You better be here. Big win for us. Leo came up clutch with the last play. Unbelievable. These guys never quit.
And let's talk about the fierceness it is the playoffs. There's nothing like this in the quest towards the Ron Newman Cup. Chippy, physical, both teams realizing that every last drop of sweat and second count right here on this blue turf tonight, but it was the San Diego Sockers that found their way to get victorious. Talk about this battle tonight and how you'll prepare for the next one, as you mentioned, on Friday.
Yeah, I mean, credit to St. Louis. They had an unbelievable season and a fantastic series. So incredible season for them. But yeah, these guys just don't stop. I mean, it was incredible. And the crowd tonight was in it for every last little bit. So what a show, and we're excited for Wednesday, Friday.
And Nick, tell us about that. You mentioned these fans right here at Front Wave Arena. You guys were dominant, 10 wins on the road, the top in the MASL. But to get one here at home, this one right here, the most important one since we've been here at Front Wave Arena. Tell us about that experience and how important these fans are to you and your team.
man, it's the extra man on the field. It's the extra man. We were tired, beat up, and we kept going all the way for Leo to score with whatever 20 seconds to go in the game with a team that's over 35 and plus and still running around. It's a huge credit to this team. I'm missing the clap.
Get into the clap. Nick Pereira, give it up for him one more time. And your San Diego Sockers, we got it done. We'll see you on Friday right here from Front Wave Arena.
Incredible scenes here as the thunderclap reigns at Front Wave Arena. Los Brujos de 78 celebrating with their team as the Sockers and Wave will meet for the first time ever in the finals. We'll take a break and we'll bring you the highlights next on the CBS Sports Golazo Network.
There's regular cold, and then there's the mountains are blue cold. Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
At Front Wave Credit Union, we're all in on you. You're not just a number, you're a member. And we're putting $350 behind what we believe in. Get started today. Dream big. We got you.
Please hold. Not medically necessary. Out of network. Request denied. Referral denied. Claim denied. Denied.
What if insurance, doctors, pharmacies came together and worked as one team?
If you can't get what you want, come with me.
That would be a better idea for healthcare. Kaiser Permanente.
Parents, if we're on screens too much, what about you?
So let's ditch them and go outside on safari to hang with the coolest, kookiest, tallest animals ever. Whoa! We can hop with them,
Get real close to them.
and every visit helps the animals. But that screen you're on can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd
At the San Diego Zoo Safari Park.
With the call from 6th grade whittle.
Back at a jubilant yet quickly emptying Front Wave Arena, the San Diego Sockers play yet another classic in a year where 8 of their 24 regular season games went to overtime, and the Sockers led the league with a 6-2 overtime record. They're now 1-0 in Golden Goal in the playoffs. Doesn't matter about 3 points or 2 points anymore. It's just about winning. And San Diego wins 6-5. I tell you, I'm looking and you can see them on the floor. Ambush players just sitting on the floor, dejected. My heart goes out to Jeff Locker, Shelley Clark, this ambush ownership, this ambush team, for having the most ascendant season in the Major Arena Soccer League. We had that statistic, maybe Larry, you could throw it up again, how St. Louis has improved year after year after year to go from 4 wins to get to 11 wins, then to 13 wins this season, 17 to 33 to 42 points. Paolo, probably goalkeeper of the year, almost undoubtedly so. Second best defense in the league, only 117 goals conceded. They found their identity. They found a style of play. They found a way to make it work. They've got an incredible fan base at St. Louis's The Family Arena. And in no way whatsoever should any, I'm not telling you how to fan, I'm just saying, all Ambush fans can hold their heads high, have their chests out, because this was a great season. And Every one of these games, the regular season meeting, Friday's meeting, and today, we saw that St. Louis had the exact right components to give the Sockers all the trouble in the world.
I mean, shining example of what MASL can potentially be if you give time for development and you give these players an opportunity. And St. Louis definitely took it, a fantastic team, a group of individuals, and they are absolutely in a position that they should be proud of at the end of the day. Congratulations to the Ambush. It was an absolute honor to host them and have the privilege to see them do battle with the San Diego Sockers, because they earned it for sure, day in, day out.
Let's show you how this one was won. And we've been having a couple replay issues, but we've got the game winner right here. The determination of the 39-year-old Nick Pereira to get, and then look at Christoph just dropping to his knees in exultation and relief. Trust me when I tell you relief, as Nick Pereira does it again. This team has so many high-end scores, and that's why the rest of the league always goes, okay, well, the Sockers this, the Sockers that. But in reality, in these overtime moments, this is the team that's won 7 overtimes now, and it's because you have guys like this that can finish the job.
Yeah, I mean, the juice has been worth the squeeze for sure in this entire season. It's built this team to be able to move forward and rise above in the moment because of the experience in overtime that they had in the regular season, moving into this final semifinal game that ended up being just a cardiac situation. And again, that experience, the moment, a vintage Nick Pereira movement, rolling it off and hitting it at the top of the ball so it stays at the essentially at the floor level to get past the best goalkeeper of the season. It's incredible what this team has been able to do this season, and it's not over yet.
The journey continues, and now, as we turn our attentions from offering much-deserved flowers to today's runner-up, St. Louis, we turn to the San Diego Sockers, who go back to the Ron Newman Cup Finals for the 2nd straight year. This is the 2nd time in franchise history that they've gone to back-to-back MASL Ron Newman Cup Finals. Last year, the Sockers won at home and then went down to Chihuahua and lost Game 2 and lost the mini-game resoundingly. There is no Chihuahua and there is no trip other than Wednesday. And Tony, the San Diego Sockers, 16-time professional indoor champions. The Milwaukee Wave, 7-time professional indoor champions, 2 of the greatest franchises in the history of the sport. But the Wave began their franchise in a different league than the Sockers. They never were in the same league until the merger of the MASL in 2014. And these 2 franchises, 2 of the absolute standard bearers for what it means for indoor soccer to be a great and special sport, for the first time ever, they will meet with a championship on the line.
I mean, what a story. These 2 legendary franchises coming in, and it's going to be a great series once again, as on one hand, the Wave were able to have a great start to the season. They were able to figure it out towards the end, and so much so that they placed themselves in the position to be in the Ron Newman Cup Championship, and now have a great chess match against a San Diego Sockers that has been battle tested. They've gone through it. They've won every single way that's been posted in front of them. And it's going to be so exciting. There are so many storylines going into it with individual players coming back here to Front Wave Arena for the Steinwashers, who last season almost had it. Like, the story writes itself, but the story is going to be even more beautiful as these 2 teams are going to write it.
The Wave not only beat the Sockers twice this year, they beat them by 4 goals, 8-4, and 5 goals, 10-5. But that was early in the season. It was a very different Sockers team at that time. And one thing in specific, the Wave have never seen Chris Toth in goal. And I think that's a gigantic difference maker, and I think was a big difference maker in tonight's game as well. Tony, the Sockers went for the play to give the 42-year-old Boris Pardo the start. They hoped for his leadership, his 10 years of outstanding service, to be able to rise to the top. Boris did not play poorly, but he did not create the type of energy that the Sockers wanted. The Sockers played poorly. They were outshot in the first half. They were outscored 4-2. Chris came in and allowed only one goal, and that goal was on a out of the power play counterattack solo race down the floor by O'Keefe. So I think this is that team that San Diego wanted to have from day one of training camp. They've got it now, going to Milwaukee for the Ron Newman Cup Finals, and then coming back here on Friday, April 24th. And again, this is a 3-game series, a true 3-game series. So if Milwaukee wins game 1 and San Diego wins game 2, we do not go to a knockout game. We go back to the hotel and come out Monday for a deciding and season finishing game. That's the setup, that's the story. This is the Major Arena Soccer League. And this has been our presentation of the Ron Newman Cup semifinals. Our next broadcast right there, match 2 of the Ron Newman Cup Finals, will be Friday, April 24th. That'll be a 7:35 kickoff Pacific Daylight Time. Stay tuned for further broadcast announcements. We know it's on MASL TV. I wouldn't be surprised if it's everywhere else, too. Whether it's here on CBS Sports or whether it's on another network. Absolutely. The Sockers are finals bound, and the Wave are waiting. A big thanks to our Emoda broadcast and production crew for a tremendous job tonight and all season, and we'll do it again on Friday night. Thanks to one and all. Thanks to Nick Ferrara down on the floor. For Tony Sanchez, I'm Craig Elston, reminding you one more time of our final score in golden goal overtime at 9:01 of the 10-minute period. After Leonardo de Oliveira scored with 10 seconds left in the fourth quarter to tie it, Cesar Cerda passes it to Nick Pereira, who scores with 59 seconds left in golden goal overtime to win it. 6-5. Sockers beat the ambush. Sockers and Wave for the Ron Newman Cup Finals. We'll talk to you next Friday. Until then, so long from Oceanside.
At Front Wave Credit Union, we're all in on you. You're not just a number, you're a member. And we're putting $350 behind what we believe in. Get started today. Dream big. We got you.
Is it normal to sweat this much? This is awful. This is a mean sweat. Quit looking at me, Susan. When was the last time I ate something planted? It's not that I don't like vegetables. Doctor, I said stuff. I can't pay for a nutritionist. Why is this always such a whole big thing?
With nutrition counseling included, staying on top of your health doesn't have to be a whole big thing. Kaiser Permanente, healthcare that just works.
With the call from 6th grade whittle.
Parents, if we're on screens too much, What about you?
So let's ditch them and go outside on safari to hang with the coolest, kookiest, tallest animals ever. Whoa! We can hop with them.
Get real close to them.
And every visit helps the animals. But that screen you're on can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd!
At the San Diego Zoo Safari Park,